Happy Saturday. Hey, welcome back to the Dennis Herrera. And today I get to wear my straw hat. Yes, it is made in China. We ain't gonna lie. I really thought it was gonna be made in America, but it was made in China. Welcome everybody. I get to see some of you guys here on a occasional Saturday. Dennis Herrera live. Mando. Oh, hey Armando, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás, man? He probably just stopped by to say hello. But Louis, good to see you on here. Robert. I just made Robert Mexican for some reason. Robert Maga is a Mexican white Robert from Germany, German descent. Let's see, Pamela, how are you? Good to see you here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. I turned down the volume just a little bit. Got some fans going. Need to get some AC up in this mug. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but good to see you guys in here. Scott Barron, representing Canadian, good Canadian people. How are you, homie? Eh? My man, special. He knows. Welcome to a special Saturday edition of the Dennis Herrera Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know. I try to take my 2 days off, man. I try not to get burned out. But yesterday, I made a comment saying that one of the councilwomen here in Linwood, Washington, was illegal. So today, I will address that. Let's see, who else do we got here? Kasra, it's clocking. She's still loading in. Or he, or it, or they, them. I don't know. It seems like I don't know what Kasra is. Let's see. Last time I checked, yes, Kirk is still dead. Don't worry. You won't get to see him again. When you die, you're going to go to hell. And he is going to be in heaven. So, yeah, unfortunately, you won't get to be roomies. You know what I mean? You'll be burning in hell for eternity. And, well, you just won't have access to heaven so that you can look at Kirk and see if he's still there. With that being said, thank you for commenting. Ice, please pick this guy up. I downloaded, I made this AI picture. I think I'm going to put that above me. We're going to go ahead and put down the 250th anniversary here. And, well, let me see. I think I made it. I think I made it a video. But you know what? I think I can just grab the photo that I made for the thumbnail. I think we can do that. Thank you for reminding me there, my friend. Appreciate it. And, well, now we're going to go ahead and put that baby up there. And that way, everybody can enjoy. Everybody can enjoy the ICE agents. Well, this is an AI undocumented Asian guy. But nonetheless, those are ICE agents. I'm going to put that down for now. That was my thumbnail. For the video, just so that you guys know. All right, let me know what I forgot to turn on a couple of things here. Yeah. Got to click, fast click, and save. And save now. There we go. All right, good. All right, here we go. I like to be able to keep the analytics, monitoring going on. Greg said, "Miss you yesterday. You give great info." Oh, thank you, Greg Watkins. Welcome to the Dennis Herrera on a Saturday, special Saturday edition. We don't normally do Saturdays anymore or Sundays, just once in a while. But you know what? There is a video, so I'm gonna bring it down just because, when Liptards challenge me, I aim to please. And let's see if I can find it fast enough. I'm really horrible at remembering where I put my shit. Let me see here. And let's see. No, not there. No. I don't know. Not that one. You know what? I can probably grab it from my projects here. And let's see. Let's grab that. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, you know what? My creations. I have, let's see, there it is. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, open location. Okay. We'll leave it there. Oh man, you know what? I love playing with this stuff, man. It's so good to, when you get familiarized with, software programs, etc. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be able to do things. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and move from this folder to this folder, and then I'll be able to grab it from there. You're gonna love it. I made that photo into a video. And, well, while the libtards are in here worrying about ice, notice that I made the sign Seattle, Washington in the back. There's not such street, okay? So you guys know this is AI. Boom, there you go. A little bit of lightning in the back, photographing, etc. I didn't know what else to put on the description on there to make that little clip right there. I hope that you guys enjoy it. For all those people that support ICE, there you go, my friends. There you go. And let's make it a little bit smaller, okay? Let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's see what else can I change on there. Let me take down this one. We'll bring it back in a little bit. Let's make it look like that's my TV up there overlapping. Just right in the corner above the chimney there. Overlapping to the window just a bit. There you go. I think that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Ice, ice, baby. Dun 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 dun. Ice, ice, baby. Man, I aim to please, guys. For all my libtards, salute from my favorite felon. Never surrender, baby. Never surrender. This is going to sound very corny, very quirky. It's going to sound very bad, but I was watching my live yesterday. I was watching my live just to see, how much of a jerk I become when I'm doing my live stream. Oh, you know what? Since you sent me that alert, man, I didn't get to move it. I need to move that alert. Let me make sure. Let me see if I can grab it and put it maybe a bit smaller. That was too big, and I can't see what it says. Let's go this size right there. Hopefully that's good. Next time I get an alert, it'll show me right there. Hopefully it shows good. All right, so I was watching my live, and I thought to myself, man, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I judge myself very hard. It is pretty good. I like the Dennis Herrera show. I'm glad I'm doing it. I watched it for about 5 minutes. Obviously, I don't have much time to watch, even myself. Man, but I watched it, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I actually made myself laugh. I thought that was funny. So you call it what you will. I did notice that this camera makes me look a little bit fatter. I don't know. When I look at the reflection of my monitor, I look pretty normal. But in the camera, it's like my face has got an extra 20 pounds on it. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. The point is that we are coming live to you, straight to your mobile device, computer, or whatever, tablet or anything that you have, okay, where you can watch this. David, how are you, David? Rudy, the garbage sued the poor old man. I don't know what that was. Old men in England arrested for shooting trespassers. Oh, I see. Yeah, that has happened here as well in the United States of America. Hey, thank you guys for joining. I wonder. Wrong Kirk died. I don't know what other Kirk you know. I really don't know. I don't know. But you guys, come on. Listen, you can go ahead and call me names. That way you can get blocked. But don't make an ass out of yourself, laughing at somebody else's death. If I ever have laughed at somebody's death, I don't know. Maybe I apologize. If it was really funny, then I'd be laughing. But something that is really serious, like Charlie Kirk, that was pretty horrendous, And what's crazy is that people called him a racist and hateful and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, where? Where was he racist? I mean, for a white guy, he was telling people that black people are smarter than they think. That black people can do anything anybody else can do. It is crazy that even their own black people doubt themselves. I never understand that. I never understand that. But don't worry, I'll get to my big, huge apology. I'm trying to see if that guy's name comes in here because I don't remember who was asking me. I think I got mad at him. Number one, because he was disrupting my life. Right? That's what trolls do. But he had a legitimate question. He asked me for a name of the illegal councilwoman in Linwood, Washington. And I said, you go look it up. And so the reason why I said that she was illegal is because there was a dispute. And don't worry, I got some clips. There was a dispute. We were, the government, the federal government's trying to put these American flags at a flag park. And, well, she thinks the pride flag is more important than the American flag. And she has her own reasons, or whatnot. But she said, I'm not even from this country. So when she said that, my bad. I truly, really want to apologize, for going off on this guy. I don't know who he is. But, trolls, even if I'm wrong, they still deserve to get cussed at. But again, my apology is sincere. I really mean it. I apologize for saying that she was undocumented and she was illegal. I mean, I don't know. You judge for yourself and you tell me if I was wrong to judge her the way that I judged her. But I'm going to go ahead. I got a couple of clips, okay? I found this clip where, number one, what I'm going to tell you is this. I can't believe, okay? I can't believe that this person sitting next to her just stays there quietly. Doesn't say anything. What she's saying is outrageous. But she doesn't say, and he doesn't say anything, okay? All right, so I'm going to prepare this clip. We'll go ahead and make it big. We'll go ahead and make it big. This was back in May 4th, 2026. And I want to show you this clip so that you guys can judge for yourself and tell me, I mean, besides being anti-American or un-American and being perverted, she is a queer person. That's what she calls herself. She says, I am a queer, blah, 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 LGBTQ, blah, blah, blah. Listen, these people are Marxist communists. We already know this. They're godless and lawless. They're not afraid of mentioning anything from the Bible or anything like that because, well, you know what? Even if they are afraid, they just don't give a shit. And that's just the way they are. But I'm going to go ahead and play this video so that you guys can check it out with me. Make sure that I make it a good size so that you guys can actually see this. All right, here we go. This is her right here. This is, what's her name? What's her name? I forgot what her name was. Isabella Mata, right here on the bottom. You guys can't see it. Isabel Mata. That's her name. All right, that's the councilwoman here in Linwood, Washington. And, well, listen to what she says, and you will understand why I thought she was illegal. So, again, I apologize that I argue with somebody saying that she was, but she's not illegal. Allegedly, she's not illegal, okay? But listen to the way she talks as an American citizen. Now, as far as I understand, she is a migrant, and she became a naturalized American citizen just like me. Now, remember what I told you. If you want to be an American citizen, you have to make an oath. Your word is your bond. Okay? Maybe this just applies for real men. Men with manginas and women, especially socialist white Karen women, probably don't apply to them. But anyways, nonetheless, I want you guys to go ahead and hear it from her. Listen to the way she talks. Here you go.
An American flag. I would not raise an American flag at my house because I wouldn't. I wasn't even born here. But I would raise a pride flag. And as the most diverse.
That's it. That's all I heard. That's all I needed to hear. And I say, this is an illegal immigrant. So I apologize. But she will not raise an American flag. And she says, I wasn't even born here. So that's what I thought. That's what I thought she was illegal. Would you judge me on that? You know what I'm saying? So was it you, Jim? I don't know. I think Jim was in there. I don't know, but somebody was asking me, so I have really, really, truly apologized because they asked me for a name, and I was sure as hell that she was really illegal. But here's the clip, okay? And then I have another clip to show you pertaining this same incident.
City in all Snohomish County, I don't think that I'm the only one who would maybe choose to have 27 other flags in Flag Park. Does this park represent the values that were here in this 1960s when they established this park? Do we hold those same values now, and are they represented?
The reason why we want that many flags, just like we do on Memorial Day, right? We put a flag for every fallen hero. That was the purpose of the park, the flag park.
Of the Linwood as we see it today. Because if we're having this issue of we have so many things that we want to represent, this community is filled with so many beautiful cultures and diverse backgrounds and all of these things, yet we have 27 iterations of the same flag, some representing parts of American history that frankly are not great. Is there something different that we could do that fixes this issue altogether, where maybe these aren't flags that could be up year-round that represent our community?
You see the difference? Now, that's a migrant. That is a migrant just like me, I guess. We both became naturalized American citizens. Do you see the way she thinks? Do you see the way she thinks about America, about the flag? She doesn't give a shit about the flag. She don't even know what the flag stands for. She literally thinks that every culture, every ethnicity, every group has to have a flag to represent America. There's only one flag. The American flag represents every single American. I'm telling you, man, these people are twisted. Mr. Mikey, how are you? Welcome. Welcome to the chat. Brian was I think Brian was in here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dreaming.
The last thing I want to say is, yes, it's a political statement, but our city logo is literally all are welcome in rainbow colors. So we've already made a decision as a city where we stand politically.
We already made a decision as a city. You get what you vote for. Absolutely.
I think that's very, very clear. So to me, that is something I would feel so comfortable doing, is raising that flag in Wilcox Park and raising so many other flags that represent who we are. So wrap it all together. Maybe this is bigger than just seasonally raising these flags based on these proclamations. Maybe it's a time that we look at that park and those flags all together and find a long-term solution that is more representative of the people of Linwood.
This is a Fox News alert, and a massive bus.
I want to show you something. I want to pause it. I want to show you what a libtard looks like. Look at this guy. She said, I will never raise an American flag. I wasn't even born here. And that is his expression the whole time. That's it. That's his expression the whole time. I don't know how people can let that go, bro. I really don't know how people can let that go. It is beyond me how un-American, how unpatriotic, if he even is American himself. It is amazing how unpatriotic these people are. Now, I got a couple of videos that I put on my Facebook account. Just a couple. I got just a couple. Let me get this one ready here for you.
You're lucky.
Give me a second. Give me a second. This is Jonathan Cho. He's a journalist here in Seattle. I'm gonna go ahead and show you this clip that he's playing out. But I really wanna point out, you know, Americans, the United States is being attacked from outside and from within. It's something that I guess every country has to deal with, but countries that are shitholes, nobody wants to stay there anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they go somewhere else. This country, it's so great. It's so much better than Canada and Mexico. That's how great the United States is. Everybody wants to come here. The problem is, we got 250 years of history. We have built this country. I explained this yesterday, a couple of days before, this whole week. I've been celebrating the whole month, 250th. And it's just, I don't know why. There's still so many people that don't see it. And I get it. I will say this. I will say 70%, maybe 80% of the people who are negative against, our ICE agents, federal agents, enforcing immigration law. I always say this. When people always go and blame ICE agents for shooting somebody or for somebody dying under ICE custody, who told you to be here illegal? If you're legal and you collaborate, now I'm going to give you the negative, and you collaborate with federal agents, okay, there should be no problem. Now, the reason why federal agents have to go out there on unmarked vehicles is because sanctuary cities have given them so much freedom to be in this country illegally. And if an ICE is a federal agent comes out there and the patrol car says federal ICE agent, on it, federal ICE, they're not going to leave their house. They're going to hide. They're going to make the job worse. They're going to call their friends. They're going to call their people. Make a protest. Make a big deal. So that causes federal agents to go in there and, unmarked vehicles, etc. I blame Democrats for not cooperating with federal government. That being said, it creates a very bad situation. You guys know I love ICE agents. I support ICE agents. And I'm going to tell you something. People, you can make the claim. You can make the claim that, how would you feel, right? If an unmarked vehicle comes over and pulls you over with police lights, right? A lot of police officers have unmarked vehicles. They don't say sheriff on it. They don't say police this, patrol that. They're unmarked vehicles. They pull you over and you pull over. Some people are afraid and they call 911 and say, hey, listen, I have an unmarked vehicle that is following me. Can you help me? Are they real police agents, police officers? If local enforcement police officers were allowed to work with federal ICE agents, you wouldn't have these problems. I guarantee you. It doesn't happen on the states where the local police actually cooperates with federal ICE agents. That being said, if somebody came in on civilian clothing and try to come after me, I'll probably get shot dead because I'm going to shoot at these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. I get it. But this is why we tell you the truth. And this is why we warn you every single day. You got to get rid of Sanctuary City and their policies. You have to allow police officers, law enforcement agents to go and collaborate with federal agents. There is a reason why certain cartel drug lords get caught. You know why? Because local enforcement, local police officers are allowed to work with the FBI, even with ICE, DHS. They're allowed to work with them so they catch the criminals. That's what we're always talking about on this show. You know what I'm saying? Sanctuary cities are a piece of shit. They are very unconstitutional. You have to understand. A lot of people on the left say that President Trump is doing all these unconstitutional things. They don't even know what the fuck the Constitution is. Let me tell you what's unconstitutional. Sanctuary cities. Why? Why sanctuary cities? Sanctuary cities protect illegal immigrants. And the worst is that they protect fucking badass criminals that are illegal. Oh, what? Why is that unconstitutional? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. Every single state has signed. The federal government has access and regulates immigration, and there is no restrictions. Let that sink in for a second. Who's breaking the Constitution? Here in Washington State, the people vote for the taxes that are imposed on sales, on our income, etc. The Democrat government, the communist people who are in power at this moment, they try to bypass us. The governor literally put that shit on the floor and told the legislative branch to get it done, to pass it through fast, ASAP, and he will sign it as soon as it passes. That's communism. I don't care. If you don't know what communism is, that's actually communism. And that is very unconstitutional according to the Constitution of Washington State. It requires a degree. Are you fucking kidding me? No, it requires common sense. That's what it requires. You're going to tell me that because college gives you a fucking degree that you can read documents better than me? You're a fucking moron. The stupidity of the people that believe that a degree makes you better than me? Get the hell out of here, bruh. Get out of here with that. I don't got a degree on immigration, and I know everything about immigration. This fool. You are a fool. Oh, wait a minute. You can't talk about parenthood because you're not a parent. What a retard. I like it when people try to throw their degrees on me. Here is something that you will love. About a year ago, when I started doing my show, I said I support. I don't have a GED. I got a high school diploma. Thank you very much. And 2 years of useless college. Never gets old. I had this guy. He called in on my show. And I told him, I said, I support tariffs 100%. The guy says, tariffs are bad for this country. I said, did you know that before taxes were imposed, we did not pay federal taxes? The government supported itself with tariffs alone. We, the people, didn't pay shit. 1913. Democrat Republicans, you fucking morons, decided to put a tax. And they started with the excuse of, oh, don't worry, guys. We're only going to tax the very rich people, the wealthy. I don't know about you, but 2026. I don't know about you, but I pay taxes and I am not the wealthiest. Yeah, that's how it starts. And ever since I've been able to work in this country, I've realized that I have to pay taxes. They lie to us. They said only the rich. Now they got the billionaire tax in California. Here in Washington State, they got the millionaire tax. And then they're going to say the middle class tax. And then they're going to say the fuck everybody tax. Oh, man. I got a high master's. I have a doctorate on bullshit you. My doctorate in bullshit beats every single one of your degrees. Unbelievable. I can tell you this, man. I can tell you this. If I went against a lawyer, I'm pretty sure I win. You know, I watch a lot of Law and Order, and I watch a lot of lawyers, you know, that they go in public television. And I sit there and I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Why am I not a lawyer? I should be a lawyer. I'll be destroying these motherfuckers. Every single one, I'll be destroying them. Let me tell you something. When the law doesn't work, you bring that up with Congress and tell them to change the law. People don't do that. If a law enforcement agent, whether they are right or wrong or whatever you think that your fucking right is, if a law enforcement agent, police officer or agent is, you know, investigating something, you should show them your ID. If they ask you for ID, show them your ID. But then you got these influencers out there, just fucking idiots. Oh, it's my constitutional right not to shut the hell up. What a scum of a citizen, if he really is a citizen. I think most people don't show ID because they're fucking guilty of something. Yeah, they like to go in public places, like governmental offices that are public, and they like to go in there and do all these, criminal activities plus recording, and they don't give their names out because they're afraid that their warrant is going to come up in the service, in their system. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I hope that this coffee doesn't hurt my stomach because I just drank a big-ass cup of alcohol, wine cooler or some shit, or something like that my wife brought me. But it was an alcoholic beverage. You can probably see it on my face right now. Big-ass glass. We're not talking about a little. I'm talking about a huge glass. She brought it over here like it was some fucking Kool-Aid. So now we're drinking coffee. Anyways, don't go too deep into the tariffs. We talked about tariffs so many times, man. I always win. I always win. Always win. That's why today I apologize about being wrong about the undocumented person. But I showed you a video so that you can see why I thought that she was illegal. I also promised you that I was going to show you.
Jamal Bryant.
Hold on, S.A. I think I probably.
Jamal Bryant.
Yeah, I think I probably moved it. Son of a biscuit. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll go ahead and start off. Let's forget it. I already apologize. Oh, okay, let me read this last comment here. Let's see. The best economic time in the U.S. was in the 1950s, 60s when the top tax rate was 42%. I don't know about that, Kenneth, why are you back on my channel? We already established months ago, you're a libtard, right? You told me on live calling, you don't support my channel. So why the hell are you here? After that disrespect, I don't want you here. So keep your opinions to yourself. Next time be like, hey, you know what? I appreciate you doing what you're doing. Here, I disagree with you on this and that. But you don't fucking know how to do that. You have no tact. So I don't care what you say. With that being said, let me see. Somebody else actually made a comment in here that was actually making sense. Let's see. Yeah. Barney, I don't know how long I can last in there, man. I don't know. I don't know how long I can last. I don't think I'm cut up to be a comedian. I don't know, man. People be cracking me up with their stupid shit. I don't know. I don't know what, what kind of soups these people eat, but they're crazy. So anywho, the guy comes in and he's talking to me with tariffs. And I said, well, I support tariffs 100%. And I said, you know why? Because in the early 2000s, late 90s, in the early 2000s, as Democrats, it started flipping. They started going into a globalist economy. And they started forgetting about the American people, the workers, the manufacturers, the people that have trades, the ones that didn't have an education in doctors, in medicine field, scientists, and all that stuff. No, these are tradesmen. These are people that use their time to work labor so that they can support their families, but the fucking Democrats decided to go globalist. And so they started making all these things to where it was cheaper for manufacturers to go to China, to go to India, to go to all the countries, instead of building something here in the United States of America and keeping it affordable for everybody, and especially for them to make a profit. They decided that they wanted to be billionaires a lot faster, so they decided to jump into the wagon of globalism. Now with President Trump today, they're coming back, little by little, but they're coming back. Now, people can lie to me and say, oh, the tariffs didn't do anything. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, all this $20 trillion in investments and all is bullshit, Dennis. Nothing is happening. And I just watched big-ass manufacturing, I think it was in Texas, from Apple. Apple, yes, the same Apple that is investing $600 billion to be back in this country within the next 10 years or less. We are going to be producing the same amount of chip output that Taiwan is doing, and we're doing it here in the United States of America. We're becoming independent. We are going to be controlling the market even greater. Did you know that we are 1/3 of the world's market? We are the 1/3 of customers. Every country should be kissing ass, American ass, America, black ass, white ass, brown ass, and all kinds of American ass. That's crazy. I don't know where that came from. A lot of ass kissing to the American people. I'm going to say kudos to Ford. Don't get too happy if you're a Ford guy. I want to say kudos to Ford because they didn't leave us. But I got something against you. I got something against American manufacturers. I don't blame you, but I still have something against you. And that is that you made your trucks cheaper made. And I don't mean economically cheaper. Cheaper built. You made them shit. That's what I got against you. But I hope that the government changes to better government and get rid of these fucking communist Democrats and start getting some real leadership in there. More tax cuts so that these manufacturers can use that money to pay their employees a better wage and to pay more for materials that will make the trucks last longer. Let all the electronic bullshit be optional. If somebody wants to pay an extra $30,000 on a monitor and some bullshit audio, let them do that. I want the truck. You know what I'm saying? The one that won't break down, the one that can take all the weight that I can put on it, the one with the torque, the one with the diesel engine that just goes forever. That's what I want. Going back to tariffs. 30 years, economist comes onto my show with his little master's degree on economics. 30 years economist. 30-year economist with a shiny master's degree in economy. He comes in and he says, these tariffs are going to take us into the Great Depression. I bust out with my doctor's degree on common sense. And I told him, well, after further critical thinking here and seeing as to how, because foreign countries put hella tariffs on us, well, we lost trillions of dollars and all of our manufacturers left us. I think that these tariffs are going to bring other countries to come in and negotiate with us. And I said, there will be no such thing. It's a depression, like the Obama years. back in 2008. Remember that? Yeah, 30-year master's degree, probably a doctorate. He was wrong. Common sense won. Common sense won. Here's the other thing I said. People were bitching and complaining about tariffs. Oh my God, you Republicans are so stupid. The consumers pay the tariffs. That's why everything is so expensive. Shut the hell up. Why are you liptards always the same dumb, stupid people? Huh? Why you liptards always want to call your hair rainbow? What the fuck's wrong with that? Always want to be a damn parrot. I said, listen, calm down. Calm down. No, it's not. This is how it works. I said it. I don't care what economist, what tax expert comes over here and tell me. I said, let me tell you something. When you do business, let's see, maybe liptards, this is why they don't understand. They're socialists. They depend on the money that other people work hard to earn. I said, when you have a business and you do your taxes. See, here's something that people don't know. I'm going to go very, very basic. I just took my grandpa to lunch. Took my grandpa to lunch. Took him to Red Lobster. I paid almost $300 for the lunch. It's grandpa, me, and my wife. Bought him a couple drinks. I paid $300 on that lunch. Now, as a residential, as a regular non-business person, well, I can't claim that on my taxes. As a business owner, well, you see me do lives on my car? That's right. It counts as part-time office space. Grab the receipt for $300. That is a cost of doing business. I was talking to Grandpa about the podcast and where the future of the podcast is going to go. Talking about investments. It was a business meeting. So now I can deduct this $300 on the business. It's a regular tax, non-business guy. I can't do that. There's no cost of doing business. All the gas that I use in my car is deductible if you're a business owner. You like that? So all these corporates, manufacturers, businesses, they have this thing that's called cost of doing business. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. All the tax experts, go on and say something. Tariffs. Cost of doing business. It's a little bit more complicated than just receipts, but cost of doing business. Now, here's the thing. Now, if you've been on my show before, you might have heard it. Now, my lives are hours long, okay? It's not a 10-minute clip, so I understand if you missed it. So, the consumer paid. Agree? I agree with you. The consumers paid. Gotcha. All right, let's go with that. The consumers paid. Now, every quarter, a business has to report their taxes, their sales, their earnings, their gross, their losses, cost of doing business, etc. And they go through all these motions. Every quarter they have to report. Every quarter. Not every year, every quarter. And they got to pay those taxes that they collected, etc., to the Department of Revenue. Now they can start deducting. See, when you do taxes as a business, you don't just do taxes like a regular person. Now listen, I do my own taxes. The personal and independent business owner. If you go to HR, it's because you don't know how to do your taxes. Okay, you pay them whatever you pay them. That's on you. Got it? Okay, no problem. They will give you the best advice that they can give you. As a matter of fact, there was a commercial. I can't remember what tax company was doing this, but there was a commercial that was saying, did you know that the big beautiful bill actually allows you to deduct up to $10,000 of the interest that you paid on the loan. I already know that, sucker. But they announced it, and they were collecting business because people don't know what they can deduct. So here we go. Corporations are over there and saying, oh my God, boom, 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 I'm losing business. I'm losing money. I got to raise the price. Wait a minute. Red flag. Wait a minute. Time out. Wait a minute. Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to be on the side of these big corporations making the claim that tariffs are being paid by consumers. Bear with me. So a company is losing revenue, cost of doing business. You will report that loss of revenue, correct? Ding, ding. Yes. The answer is yes. You are correct. Assuming you got common sense and you understand what I'm saying. Number two, you raise prices because you're losing money. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Okay. All right. You raise the price so that you don't lose money. Gotcha. So far, I'm with you. Okay. So you're losing money, and we're going to put that as a loss, cost of doing business. Now you're raising prices on your products so the consumers can pay the tariffs, right? I'm just saying, hey, I could be wrong. And so the consumers pay a higher price because of tariffs. Now here comes the quarter. The quarter's finished. You got to report your sales, got to report all your losses, got to make all the deductions. You have to understand this. When you pay taxes as a regular person, non-business, that's just a residential guy, you just report everything. There's nothing to deduct in there except for child care, medical, what about out-of-pocket expenses, things like that, right? Okay. Most people don't have shit to deduct. They got dependents. They get $2,500, $3,000, depending on what it is, what state, blah, blah, blah. As a business owner, you are not an employee. So as a business owner, instead of reporting taxes on $1 million sales, you got to deduct everything. Cost of doing business. How much money did you lose? How much did it cost to keep the lights on? How much did you pay for garbage disposal? How much did you pay for employees? How much did you do this? You see what I'm saying? And then you do your taxes on whatever you had in profit. That's just the basic information that I can give you. Now, if you pay taxes on everything, you're a stupid guy. And you should correct that. You should start doing your taxes better or pay somebody that knows how to do their taxes so that you don't have to make that mistake. Knowledge is power, my friends. Okay, so after giving you all of that, okay, so tariffs, it's a bad thing. It made everybody's, their business started to slow down. Consumer had to pay higher prices. And well, I mean, we collected over $270 billion profit in tariffs to the government. And I want you to understand something. This profit, and I don't mean like a prophet, like a religious prophet. This prophet, I have an accent. I don't know how to change it. Profit. that was worse. that was worse. There was no profit. Okay, now this. Now, businesses are going to do the cost of doing business. So they're going to be deducting that loss. You see what I'm saying? So they will get credited for it, not the consumers. So I want you to understand something. We were losing hundreds of billions of dollars. This is zero. Negative is this way. I don't know what it looks like on your screen. Negative is this way to me. Okay? Profit. Yes. Profit. Raspberry, how are you, sis? Good to see you on here. Don't forget, I might come over there next Saturday. We'll talk about it. All right. From here to here is negative. We were losing trillions of dollars all the way over here. I want you to see right here where the mic ends. This is the zero right here. We were losing trillions of dollars, okay? In order for us to break even to zero, we got to profit billions of dollars just to be at zero. But we're actually made $270 billion profit over here. It's like almost we doubled the margin of money that we're making. You can make the argument that businesses were losing money, but let me tell you something. If your business is doing good and the country's economy's deficit is going negative and negative and negative, something is wrong. So I'd rather have my country be making some profits than to having a bigger deficit, and it continues to be bigger thanks to Democrats. I'm going to blame them for using all the hundreds of millions of dollars suing our president and suing everybody that's trying to do the right thing for America. With that being said, corporations sued the United States of America for those tariffs. Remember, they told you, they convinced you. Consumers pay the tariffs. Everybody agree. Every single guy in my chat had to agree. Otherwise, Democrats are liars, right? So you'll have to agree that the consumer pay the tariffs. Here's the question. Why are the companies, businesses, corporations getting the money and not us? Why am I not getting a refund? Why am I not getting rebates? Why do the prices stay the same as they were before? Think about that. Why? See, this is what I want. I want you to question. I want you to question those things. I bet you not one of you guys who said tariffs were bad ever thought about what I just told you. Just went over your head. Don't even know what the hell I just said. All right. Enough about tariffs. I gave you plenty of time. Don't say I didn't. All right. I want to show you a video. This is from my Facebook. I got a couple of videos on Facebook that I wanted to share with you guys. This is from Jonathan Cho. He's a journalist from Turning Point USA, I think is where he actually works from, but he's here in Seattle. Take a listen to this video that he put together, and just let me know what you think.
You have your pants down, you're putting all this easy cheese on the ground? Come on, man. Look at this. This little basement entrance is now turned into a drug den.
One of our major anchor restaurants has closed. That's Joyelle. We used to have many banquets here. I had many dinners here. It was a place for community to gather and to celebrate. So it's very sad to hear that the owners focusing their efforts elsewhere outside of the CID.
Why? Do you know why?
We're right next to Philip Jackson.
So it's due to all the open-air drug use and crime. You guys are smoking fentanyl on private property.
What do you mean?
You don't feel bad for the businesses? You're making a mess out here, man. People are trying to run a business.
Is there any reason maybe I'll take the meat?
They're just done.
Yeah, you see someone.
Oh my gosh, you got this. People are showing up and it's closed, huh?
Yesterday was their last day.
Gosh, this is crazy. Yet the stuff is still up.
Yeah, so maybe they'll come back tomorrow. I mean, they have. Yeah.
These drug addicts are just hanging out here, out front. They don't care.
Still spraying the cheeses.
Eating that cheese whiz.
Cheese
You know you have drug addicts out there smoking drugs?
Yeah, I know.
They're destroying your business.
Yeah, I am right. It's correct. Yeah. Always.
How do you stay in business like this? Nobody's here.
Yeah, it's terrible. Man. It's terrible.
Jeez.
For this anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
The enemy is still like shut down. Yeah. City is homeless. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah.
He's just. This guy's taking off his clothing, smoking drugs.
Yeah. Actually, every day like that,
Every day.
is terrible.
Clean this shit up, man! Clean it up! Yeah, well, people don't want to come around here because you guys keep smoking fentanyl in these vestibules. Do you think more businesses will start to leave?
I know more businesses are struggling, and I know that many businesses may not be able to make it. And it's just tough all around. And all of these buildings, most of these buildings are for sale. I refuse to accept that this is the new normal. I refuse to accept that this is our community. I think I know we can do better. I know the city can do better.
It's a problem, man. That is a problem that Democrats want to ignore. Listen, man, I don't care if you get mad at me. You can get mad at me, but come on, man. At some point, you got to give a damn about your city. You got to give a damn about where you live. You know, I'm serious, man. I'm speaking from the heart. You know, at some point, you got to put this hate against Trump, and you got to put this, political party loyalist bullshit, and just think about your family, man. Think about their future. Think about where your kids are going to live. Like, this is a serious problem. You know, I give you the time of day with, tariffs and talking about everything else, but you can't ignore the things that are happening right before your eyes. And, if you go to Seattle and you just kind of walk in certain areas, you won't know it is anything. But if you go to the areas where these things is happening, bro, it is horrible. You will not feel safe. I don't care who you are. You will not feel safe. I guarantee you. It's crazy. It's such a big area, but these things are happening. And we just can't just let it just sit back and let it happen. Listen, the socialist mayor here in Seattle, thankfully, she's not the mayor of Herrera, which is not that much better either. But, she has acknowledged. She has acknowledged that her program was a failure. So, you got to open your eyes, man. You can't just say Republicans, MAGA, they're horrible. Man, you got to stop with that shit. You really do. You really got to stop with that shit. I swear, when I become a governor of this Washington state, I'm going to be signing some freaking executive orders, and people are going to behave, whether they like it or not. I am going to be making some asylums to come back. I'm going to be making some housing for some veterans. I'm going to be making some housing to rehabilitate people. No drugs. Zero drugs. I don't care if you shake and suffer for a week or two. You will not be doing drugs. And we'll probably make a video of people suffering from their drug withdrawals. And we're going to go ahead and use that video to make a new dare. Remember dare? Don't do drugs. This is what happens to you. There will be no sympathizing with your pain, with your withdrawals. It's painful. Don't do it. See the jails? Don't commit the crime. You will not like it. And the best thing about it is that in every historical life, document, history, you will always find that a leader, sort of a hero for the people, rises from the ashes. Man, I would love to be that hero. Go down in history as the greatest patriot of Washington State. Man, that would be amazing. Plus, here in Washington State, there is no term limits for governor. I'm only a half a century old, guys. I'm pretty sure I can handle another 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe not. I'll probably give up after 4 years. The power of the libtards. It's got power. They are annoying, and they will get on my nerves. But I will do my best. Anywho, you got to pay attention to these things, man. You can't just ignore them.
Round.
All right, let me get to
Jamal Bryant, he's a
Now, I want to show you this. Hold on. I'm going to say a couple of things. I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to say a couple of things. First of all, I don't know what it is about women. Let me tell you this. Hold on. Bear with me. I don't know what it is about women. And I don't know, maybe women think the same way about men, right? I don't know what it is about women, but when women have common sense, let me tell you something. Oof. Oof. When women have common sense and they're smart, they don't have to be geniuses. Just common sense makes you smart already as it is. You have common sense. You got family values. You speak the truth. You have sense. So sexy. Makes you look so beautiful. Makes a woman look attractive. It's like an aura of power. You know what I'm saying? I want around a woman that thinks like that has good moral values. And I think that what is so attractive about it is that every male, every real man, every real man that has common sense, that has good moral values, we feel like the powerful female is the best mate to have. Now, if you're a Muslim, I don't want you to think that I am lusting after this woman. No. But I got to give credit where credit's due. I'm sure she married. Listen to what she says about this jackass, Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant trying to picture Charlie Kirk as a racist. Anywho, I'll let you guys watch the video. Check this out. Man, hot stuff. Not this guy. The girl. Here you go.
Bryant, he's a false prophet. He said, I'm concerned by all these Negro preachers who've been talking about this man, Charlie, that was killed.
They having moments of silence in black churches all over the country over a man that was
a racist and a white supremacist. How dare you compare him to Martin Luther King? The only thing that Charlie and Martin Luther King got in common is both of them were killed by a white man. Notice how many times he brings up skin color. 4 times. Why are you bringing up skin color so much? It's ethnic idolatry. You are more concerned with the color of people's skin than you are with the truth that they speak. You are more loyal to your tribe and your race and your ethnicity than you are to the people of God. You can't say that, really. You're a little white girl. You think that my authority comes from my skin color or my stature? My authority to speak comes from the word of God. And you know what I didn't like at all? The fact that he called it black churches. Black churches? Like, what is that? Are we bringing segregation back? That's a very weird thing to say. This is not a white church. This is a church of Jesus Christ. How dare you divide the body of Christ by skin color? We are united by one thing, that's the blood of Jesus Christ. I don't care what your skin color is. I care about who you believe in and who is your God. You better believe in heaven. There's not going to be a black section singing gospel songs and a white section with the organ. There's not going to be any segregation in heaven. We're not going to be split up by skin color. We are united by the blood of Christ. You don't want to unite over common values and the fact that we worship one God. If you don't want to unite over that and you care more about skin color, you're not in this body to begin with. Jamal, he needs to repent of this ethnic idolatry and dividing the body by skin color. Jamal.
Damn. Damn. Powerful. Bruh. When a woman talks like that, bruh. When a woman talks like that, whew, just imagine the man that she's backing up, bro. Powerful, man. What a powerful lioness. You see what I'm saying? It's not a lust, bro. You heard her. Powerful. Let me tell you what, it's no joke. I did get a 1 tear out. The fact that she dropped it like it's hot. She said, it's not my color that gives me power. All glory and power to God. Told you, man. Told you. Makes people hot, bro. I'm going to get you another one. I think I have another one. Now, this one is going to be... this is going to be one of those guys like myself. This is the kind of guys that libtards like to make fun of. They try to put down and call them coconuts, sellouts, traitors. Man, here's a brown brother, Latino Free Minds podcast. Big shout out to this guy, man, for making this video, because this guy, you can tell this motherfucker is one Hispanic dude. I kid you not. When you see him, you'll know what I'm talking about. God bless him. Hey, shout out to Latino Free Mind podcast. Yeah, I'm not subscribed, but you guys, I can't subscribe to everything because I got my own things to run. But listen to what he says.
Just when you thought the political elite couldn't find a more predatory way to drain your bank account, Sacramento is cooking up a brand new trap for every single driver in California. They are currently advancing Assembly Bill 1421, a bill designed to lay groundwork for a mandatory mileage-based tax. Let's translate the bureaucratic spin. They want to implement a tracking system on your personal vehicle to monitor exactly how many miles you drive, and then slap a state tax on every single mile. Think about the utter hypocrisy of this. We already pay a nation-leading 63 cents in pure state tax for every single gallon of gas that we pump. Our families are being squeezed dry at the pump, and instead of auditing their own billions in waste or fixing our crumbling pothole-ridden highways, their solution is to invent an entirely new tax to track your movement and charge you for driving. This hits every contractor, every commuter, and every family who has to drive to get to work or drop their kids off at school. They want to punish you for working hard and traveling to your job. The old political games are dead, and we have to put a hard stop on this endless financial surveillance.
Man, that guy looks like my twin brother, bruh. That guy looks just like me. A little bit more hair, I think. A little bit more hair, I think. Latinos for Trump, baby. Latinos for Trump. My kind of people. The American Latinos, you know what I'm saying? Those residents who are looking forward to becoming American citizens because they know that this is a great country. Not because they hate it, but because they love it. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I don't know about these racist people out there, but I don't know, man. I love all people, but I want to tell you, man, if I am afraid anywhere, I don't want to be around anybody else except for the United States of America military. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. National Guard, please. Please cover our streets. God bless you, soldiers. Man, we love you. Thank you so much. You know, I have so much pride that when I see soldiers on the street, that's my people. You know what I mean? And if they misunderstand, I don't know, what do you call it? If they confuse me with another Mexican that is illegal, that's okay. I'm not going to hate them for that. But I will say, guys, ICE agents, they're in a tough situation. For one, local enforcement, local police on democratic sanctuary cities are not allowed to cooperate with ICE. So when they arrest a criminal, the governors and mayors of those cities tell them not to cooperate with federal agents. And it makes it very hard for them. So they have to go out there and unmarked cars and, all this stuff. For the most part, you'll see them with their uniform. But, I don't blame people for distrusting ICE when they see them. But my advice to Americans is this, even those who are against ICE. My advice is stop supporting illegal immigrants. Period. Stop supporting illegal immigration. It is that simple. Let me tell you what these libtards have in common with Iran. Not the good people of Iran. The good people of Iran, they're just like us. I'm talking about libtards, Democrats, who align with the Iranian terrorist regime. These communist Democrats that we have, they cheer for the Ayatollah. They cheer for Hezbollah. They cheer for Hamas. They cheer for the Houthis. They cheer when these terrorists hit ships. They cheer for them. Oh, see, we told you Trump was wrong. Fucking idiots. You see what I'm saying? Libtards align with terrorists, with criminals. You don't believe me? I'm going to give you two examples. One is Salvadorian and one is Mexican. You ready? Now, they're not the only ones. I'm just going to give you the most popular ones. One of them was popular because he was illegal in this country. Right. He was illegal in this country, which, okay, he can go under the radar, work, get paid under the table. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Don't drink and drive. Don't abuse your wife. Behave. Nobody will ever know. Nobody will know. He abused his wife twice. He smuggled people. MS-13 on his knuckles. Illegal immigrant. Two things. He is a Salvadorian citizen, not American, obviously. Number two, he claims he's not a gangbanger. And yet, he testified that he was afraid that the opposite gang would kill him. I am nobody's bitch. And I hope that you are not either. That's one. Illegal Salvadorian gangbanger, wife beater, human smuggler. Democrats loved him. They loved him so much, they called him the Maryland Father. Imagine that. Not only was he protected by the Democrats and they called him a Maryland Father instead of who he is, a criminal, but they even flew down to El Salvador. I had this video clip. It's in one of my videos, one of my lives. I don't know. One of my videos, I shared it. But I got this video from a Salvadorian influencer. I can't find him. I don't know what happened. The probably, who knows? But they show the senator, the senator from Maryland, out there dancing some cumbias with this illegal immigrant criminal. He was dancing, holding hands. I kid you not. 100% fact. You gotta search it. Abrego Garcia dancing with Senator, what's his name? Somebody put it on the chat. You guys know who it is, the moron that keeps defending illegal immigrants. But anyway, had some margaritas. Bro, you can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this shit up. What's really funny is that they took a picture of him dancing with him. And he had the tattoos. And then they had to remove, doing some Lightroom techniques, some Photoshop. Oh, man. Number two, the most recent one. Now, this one is actually a bit tragic. I don't want to laugh about this one because the guy died. A Mexican illegal immigrant was wanted by federal government. They went after him at early hours in the morning. He saw the SUVs, unmarked SUVs, come after him. So he, obviously, the obvious thing to do is run away. You don't know who they are. Not everything happens in a moment's time, and there's no time to say, "Hey, call the police." 911. Boom! I got a couple of vehicles chasing me. I'm on this street. I'm going this way. Blah blah. That's the first thing that I would do. That's what I would do. Hey, I got a couple of SUVs. Oh shit! I got a couple of SUVs chasing me here. I'm driving down on this road, on this avenue, on this street. Blah blah blah. I'm going this way. I'm calling because I don't know if they're really police officers, but if they really are, I need to have a police officer come over here. Like nobody tells them that. Nobody tells them to do that. I've been through a lot of things, with crime. People trying to be violent against me or whatever, But here's the problem. Here's the sad thing. It's, I don't blame him, for running away. Yeah, Chris Van Hollen, thank you very much. I appreciate you, Craig. I don't blame him for running away, guys. Guys, I support ICE. 100%. 100%. The guy was on his way to work to pick up his workers. I'm sure illegal immigrants as well. But he's not doing anything at that time. You know what I'm saying? I think of ways that we can prevent such things. The illegal immigrant that was being chased ran into one of the ICE agents' vehicle. And when I say ram, he probably just nicked him. I don't know. There's some videos out there, I'm sure. There's some body cams that I want to, body cam videos that I want to see before making any complete deductions. This is all alleged. And, they ended up shooting him, and he died. It's not a funny thing. It's really sad. A family, a son lost their father. A wife lost their husband. A father lost their son. It's a sad situation. But the reality of it is, he was here illegally. And I blame the local authorities who denied assistance to federal agents. They could have easily come in with the police. That's what they're for. With the police, saying, hey, there's a warrant for your arrest. There's a deportation order for you. ICE agents are here to take you in and send you back home. They're peace officers. They're there to make sure that the citizens don't get harmed. But they're also there, to which they made an oath, foreign and domestic. It doesn't say legal or illegal. No, foreign and domestic. Whether you are a resident, it doesn't matter. They made an oath in sanctuary blue city states and cities. They break that oath. They force the police department to break that oath. They are not keeping their citizens safe. It's a big problem. Yeah, Randy, good point. $50,000 cash, bribery. It didn't go anywhere, did it? Yeah, he didn't get prosecuted. Hearsay. I gave you $100,000 last week. When are you going to pay me back? You see what I'm saying? Anybody can say that. What's up, Salty? Good to see you, man. Anyways, let's go ahead and leave it there with ICE. Unless we have another video from ICE. I think that's all I had on my Facebook. Yeah, that's all I had on my Facebook. Let me see. Why don't we stay current here? There's a couple of posts on my X account. New post from the Trump War Room. They reposted Secretary Linda McMahon. The Trump administration exposed a nationwide scandal. Schools are failing to investigate credible reports of sexual abuse by employees, while teachers' unions enable the cover-up. Secretary Linda says, let me be clear. schools involve risk losing federal funding. We will protect our students. Hey, Teddy, what's going on? This is what we do. When we care about our country, when we care about our children, this is what we do. We want education to be education that will prepare them for a better future, not for a better activist LGBTQ supporter. That's not what school is for. School is not to support communists. School is to teach you math, reading skills, grammar, history, and hopefully some sort of trade, in case college is not for you. But Democrats don't support that idea. Democrats like to vote. You know what time it is. This is what Democrats called the best president in American history. The Eagle has landed.
Secret Service team, the Eagle has landed and is making his way down the helicopter stairs. We know his history with stairs, and this could be a disaster. Stand by. Eagle has made it down the stairs. He was a little wobbly at the end, but he made it. Eagle appears to be very disoriented today. We're going to need to do like last time and point out exactly where we need him to go. Secret Service team, prepare to point. Hold that point. Perfect. No way he could miss that. Eagle will be turning in 5, 4, 3, 2. He missed his mark. He missed his mark. Eagle is wandering. Jesus Christ. All units be advised, we are going to need a pretty lady or small child of some sort with nice smelling hair to get the Eagle back on track. And we've lost visual. Secret Service team, the Eagle has landed and is making his way down the helicopter.
Never gets old. Sharp as the tag, Brian. Bro, Davy Jacks is gonna have that video, that short played so many times over in this channel, bro. That's what Democrats like, you know. And now they're having so much fun with the Islamic Republic of Japan. I noticed the other day I was talking about World War I, and I kept going back between World War I and World War II, you know? And I was like, what the hell? I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, how come I didn't catch that when I was saying it? You know, we all have gaffes, you know? I apologize. Big apology. I made a big apology when I started this chat to the person who was asking me who was illegal in the Linwood Council. And she's not illegal. She is just un-American. And, you know, she swore an oath to this country and she's not fulfilling it. But, you know, she is nonetheless still legal. Here is for a lot of those people. I want you to know, there's a lot of people that come in here, a lot of leftists that come in, and they always want to tell us that we're lying about fraud, that we're lying about the scam that these Somalis, pirates, and all this, you know, whatever the hell you want to call them, you know, are doing in Minnesota, Utah, Seattle, Washington, California, Oregon. There's many other places. And they always say that we are lying. We are lying. And well, you know what? We always tell them the truth will eventually come out and everybody is going to know the truth one way or another. And well, here's a clip that I want to show you that shows me that I was right. What is it, boss? Can you do me a favor? Can you grab me a water and a couple of bananas so that I can tempt all the lip tarts that come through my chat? My wife is here. Yeah, that's okay. One thing you guys have to understand on the Dennis Herrera show, this podcast, bro, there is no fake nothing. I do this background, you know, with the green screen, all this invisible paint and shit. I do that just for decoration for your eye. You know, it's like eye candy, you know, eye candy. That's all that is for. But I'm very legit. I'm very humble. I mean, one day I'll probably have a nice big studio, and I can't wait to have you guys over in that big, nice studio. But until then, you know, it is what it is. And so I got a couple of big bananas that I'm sure they disappear on the. I got a couple of invisible make-believe bananas that I'm going to tear up here in a second, just for the libtards' entertainment. They love it when I take a bite of the big banana for some reason. They get so excited. Gay. I do need me some water, though, because I'm talking too much over here. Anyway, I don't want to keep you in suspense anymore. Hey, here is another proof that we were telling the truth about this fraud in Minnesota and all these other states. But here we go. Let me show you. Yes, of course, you're not going to know who she is, but there is a black blanket and a curtain wrapped around, walking around, that supposedly, they're guilty. Here we go.
The woman who received the most taxpayer money from daycare reimbursements in Minnesota last year just pleaded guilty to fraud. Thanks for joining us at 5 on air and streaming live. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos.
And I'm Kevin Holmes. Fahima Mahmoud is the first defendant in the state's massive daycare fraud scheme, admitted to scamming 2 federal programs.
And she'll now have to pay millions of dollars back.
Lies, lies! They never leer.
Our Lou Goose was in the courtroom today. Here now with our top story. Lou?
Rena and Kevin, Fahima Mahmoud seemed reluctant in the courtroom to enter the guilty plea because she didn't want that to mean that her entire operation was a fraud. 5 months after she shut down her daycare, booked a flight to London, and was arrested by the FBI.
Ms. Mahmoud, are you here to plead guilty today?
50-year-old Fahima Mahmoud admits she committed daycare fraud. Running Future Leaders Early Learning Center on 36th and Chicago Avenue in Minneapolis since 2015, Mahmoud collected the most Child Care Assistance Program, or CCAP, money in the state last year at $3.7 million. In federal court while entering her plea, Mahmoud and her attorney specified that there were children attending her daycare and that she has receipts. But the government didn't accuse her of inflating attendance at her center during the swift investigation that followed the attention in Minnesota placed on daycare fraud. Instead, the FBI learned from families that Mahmoud did not charge them the required copay to receive CCAP money, which provided incentive for more families to sign up. By pleading guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States, Mahmoud admits receiving $4.63 million in taxpayer money with that scheme.
Ms. Mahmoud, any comment? Are you going to be able to pay back?
Fake news. Don't believe it, guys. It's fake. Lies, lies, lies.
Any of the money?
That's not all. Mahmoud also admits taking part in the Feeding Our Future meal fraud scheme, claiming to serve up to 60,000 meals per month to needy kids out of her daycare, fraudulently collecting another $850,000. And court papers say she diverted much of those taxpayer funds to buy real estate and go toward her other companies, like this autism center, which has generated another $3.1 million in taxpayer reimbursements over the last 5 years. What the government will...
Honey, can you get me some rice for this bananas?
will seize when Mahmoud is sentenced has not yet been determined.
And sentencing will be slightly complicated because the judge can go as low as 2 years in prison or close to 7 years in prison if she puts the daycare fraud and the meal program fraud terms back to back. Rena.
Now, Lou, they used a different kind of prosecution. This went a little bit faster. Will we see something like that in the future?
This was a faster investigation because they didn't have to do all the surveillance to see if she was overcounting or inflating her numbers of her attendance. She wasn't making the parents pay their share of the reimbursement in order to get more of them to sign up. If there's other ones just like that, it's a quick way that they could charge more people daycare fraud.
All right, Lou. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So President Trump there.
No. You're not on my list. That was some good bananas, but you know how it is. Bananas ain't nothing if I don't got the rice. Oh, man. Yeah. We always tell the truth. Yes, I'm here to entertain you, but entertainment also brings you the truth. So don't be a libtard and recognize what this show is all about. While it is entertainment, and I categorize it as entertainment. It does have some political views, and I try to give you guys some facts. I got this on my browser here. This is the futures and the index of oil prices. Now, there's a lot of people out there that don't check for oil prices, but Fishbone, President Trump is a fraud. No proof. Anywho, WTI, which is our, the oil that we get here from Texas, 71.41 was the last price on it. Brent crude oil is the price that I always show you guys. Brent crude oil, it's the most expensive. So I always like to go with the most expensive. I don't know. It probably has to do with how I learned to do customer service, I always under-promised and over-delivered. You know what I'm saying? I've always been like that. I always give you the worst and hope for the best. I give you the worst news, hoping for the best, okay? So I wanted to just show you that I am still keeping an eye on those numbers. Now, I do have my next clip on here. Now, this is a video from CNN. Now, we're probably not going to watch the whole thing. I think it just loops, repeats, whatever. And this is about the shooting, right, that happened with the ICE agent that shot the gentleman that I was telling you about. Let me go ahead and show you that clip just so that everybody is on the same page. I'm not saying that it was a good thing. I think it was a very, very, very sad thing that happened. But I also believe that our government should be held accountable for this sort of mistakes because, at the end of the day, our federal agents have to do a job that they promise that they will do for us. And, you would think that anybody that loves this country would help get rid of them. If I was to be asked by an ICE agent, the federal government, to come and say, hey, you know any illegals? Yeah, I will point them out. You know why? Ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. It's a tough question. But ask yourself, if you are an American citizen, ask yourself, do you love your country? If the answer is yes, you will do anything to protect it. See, this is why the oath says that we swear an oath to protect this country from foreign and domestic threats, terrorists, criminals, things that harm this country. So if you're an American citizen, that's what I would recommend. Ask yourself, do you love your country? And then you will realize why I do what I do and why I say what I say. All right, here's CNN.
Video after Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was fatally shot by ICE agents in Houston. So here you can see what appears to be a black SUV trailing his van. It was a white van. He was going to work on Tuesday morning just before 7 a.m. Now the van disappears from view for a few seconds as it makes a U-turn. And when it comes back into frame, you can see it slowly coming to a stop. Now, what happened in these final seconds remains a mystery. These are the pieces that we have. But federal officials have so far not released any details about the ICE agents involved in the shooting. ICE claims Salgado Araujo tried to ram.
I think on that part of the video, the guy has already been shot. That's why the van is slowing down, I think.
A law enforcement SUV. But according to three men who were in.
Look at that. 52 years old, guys. Listen, I'm going to tell you what, I don't give a shit if you're a Democrat or Republican or an American. Guys, do not make any negative comments about this man. Instead, I want you to put prayers on the chat. Words of positivity, strength, praying to God for their family, comfort, consolation. I'm sure his family truly loves him, and his family misses him. Hey, Bernie, how are you, brother? just dropping in, Dennis. Peace, I'm gone. Hey, be blessed, brother. Thanks for the chat. You know, you know, people on the left, they think that Zinc Roofer still doesn't get the picture. Yeah, you know, he wasn't killed by Trump, moron. He was here illegally. That's why he's dead. But what I'm saying is that we're not going to celebrate his death. You know, we want to send a message. Everybody who is illegal in this country, you got to go. And if you're afraid that some unmarked vehicle is going to come after you, well, if you are legal, you know, you might be a victim of something. But if it's ICE agents, you don't have to worry about it because they're not going to kill you. But the fact is that this man, maybe he didn't know it was ICE agents. The point is, if he tried to run one over, whether he was next to the car or not, if he didn't want to stop, they're not going to go and chase him on the street like these police officers do before 3 cars get wrecked on the freeway and a house gets hit by a crazy-ass driver. There's a lot of things that happen during a chase. I'm not making excuses for anything. I'm just saying that it's sad that this man right here is no longer with his family. It would have been easier if he would have been in Mexico or whatever his country is. I think it's Mexican. It would have been easier if he would have been in Mexico. The family would still have a chance. You know what I'm saying? To be able to visit. Man, there's some bad people in Sinaloa. But there's also some great people in Sinaloa. I love people from Sinaloa. Beautiful women, by the way. But yeah, but this is a sad thing. I don't want anybody making fun of this guy just because he's illegal. You know, let this be a message to everybody else who is illegal in this country to just, you know, just make a man self-deport. You get some money and you get a chance to be able to apply to come back. Guys, all they're asking is that you come here legally. Now, let me tell you the reason why most people run. The ones that don't want to do that. They don't want to self-deport to come back because they have a criminal background. They have felonies. They've been to jail. I understand that, but that doesn't mean you get to stay here and hide. You got to go back. You got to go back to your country. You know, I always make a joke, right, with my people. And I always say, you know, I wish I was illegal. I wish I was illegal in this country. Because that way, they would deport me. And then I wouldn't have to explain to them, wait a minute, you speak English, you know, and you got papers, and why are you here? You know what I mean? It's like, listen, everybody will judge you no matter what. I get that. But I hate explaining myself to people. So sometimes people get cussed out on my channel, okay? But it's with good reason. Nonetheless, I feel bad for his family. He's gone. He doesn't feel anything anymore. But I truly feel bad for his family. I really do. It's better, just go back home. If you're illegal and you're alive and you're watching this podcast, if you are illegal, just go back home, bro. Do it. You'll feel good about it. Trust me. Listen, if you self-deport, I'm telling you this right now with all my love. If you self-deport, unless you're a criminal, then I see why you're hiding. If you self-deport, you get money. I can remember because does somebody know how much they're getting paid now? Last time it was like $2,500, I think. But you get a plane ticket to go back to your country. They give you enough time to sell your stuff if you want to sell it or leave it here with your, with the citizens that your anchor babies or whatever you have here. Somebody. Make some money, save it, and go buy a piece of land and build a home. build a home. Was that Ken? His wife came out and stated that he had almost finished his citizenship. Oh, you got to be shitting me, bro. That is sad. What the fuck? This guy is. Stop with the nonsense. It's not nonsense, man. We're talking about it. We're trying to figure it out. Calm down before I fucking cuss you out and kick you out of my chat. Have some respect, you assholes. I'm over here saying nobody make fun of him. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sense of things. And it doesn't matter if they're in, listen, it doesn't matter if they are in the middle of getting their papers finalized. I know how that works. They pay lawyers to do the paperwork for them, but that doesn't mean shit. I guarantee you the lawyers are only taking that money from the family. All the lawyers are doing is filling out forms that they can fucking do themselves. Do you understand the lie that these fucking lawyers are giving to the illegal immigrants? They give them false hopes. Anybody can fill out the form to become a resident. He is not, bullshit, he is not going to be a citizen unless he is a resident. And if he committed a crime to where he actually going to lose his residency, it doesn't matter if he's in the middle of finishing his citizenship. So shut the hell up, Ken. Now what? We can go around in all these things. I can tell you all kinds of shit. Most lawyers ask comebacks. I agree with that, Jeff. I agree with that. You're gonna go on the story saying, oh, you know what? Fuck the propaganda. Hearsay. Oh, the wife, every serial murderer that goes to jail, gets shot, killed in the car, in the house, or whatever. You know what the parents always say? Oh, but he was such a nice guy. He would never do that. Fucking people, fucking idiots. I was trying to be, nice. And a jackass like this Kenneth Cadwell comes in here and makes some dumbass comments while I'm in the middle of trying to explain some sense. You ruined it. I am no longer going to be nice. Fuck all the illegals. All right, see you then. Continue.
In the van when the shooting occurred, that version of events from ICE is incorrect. Those men, by the way, are now in ICE custody. An attorney for them says at no point did they use the van to ram ICE agents. He's actually now accusing ICE in all of this of a cover-up.
They should be punished.
After speaking with these men, I have no doubt that what they're saying is the truth. I know that the agency is going to try to cover it up. This is not the first time that it happens.
And this is what we're hearing from Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, who represents Houston, as more and more details about the shooting are revealed.
We certainly now have conflicting testimony. I'm not prepared to say today that it's all lies, but it sure is looking that way.
Now, so far, ICE is not commenting on these claims, but the government's story of what led to the shooting may be unraveling.
Don't be racist on my channel, you piece of shit. Don't be a scumbag. Anybody that says that American citizens are white, you're a fucking piece of shit, and get off my chat. You're not welcome on my chat, you racist prick.
Because originally officials had claimed that Salgado Araujo was part of a targeted operation. That was what they initially said, right? So they admitted it and said this was targeted. But then a source with details about the shooting said that Salgado Araujo was not the target of the operation. So that's unclear. And it's still unclear if ICE agents identified themselves to Salgado Araujo before the shooting. What we do know is that Salgado Araujo does not appear to have had any criminal background. He is a Mexican national. He's been in the United States for 35 years, 3 children, born, bred, and raised here. And according to his son, he was right now in the process of getting a work permit, something his son talked about when we spoke last evening.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kenneth Cadwell just lied to me. Hearsay. What did I just say? Hearsay. You just said he was in the middle of finishing his citizenship. That his wife came out and said that. This is CNN. This is your news. He was working on getting a work permit. 35 fucking years. You're just now working on a work permit? What would have happened if he just pulled over and got arrested? What sort of news could we be having right now? Federal agents got to act the way they have to act. What news could we be having right now if he wasn't illegal in this country? It is a fact. All of us know. If we are here illegally, we can get deported at any given time without notice. We know we're not supposed to work here. We know we're not supposed to get health care. We know we're not supposed to get welfare. We know we got to pay taxes. We know we are not welcome in this country illegally. Don't make excuses. If he wasn't illegal, this would have never happened. There's that.
He decided that it was time for him to achieve his American dreams after putting 3 kids through college, one currently in college, I'm sorry. So he had been informed, and we have spoken as a family time and time again, what my dad should do in the case that he did get detained by ICE. My dad, again, he would have stopped had ICE very clearly identify themselves through their vehicles.
The way he looks around, he's fucking lying. You know what I saw in that video? ICE. Big ass letters, ICE, on the uniform of the agent. Oh, this bullshit, identify yourself. You know they're ICE. They always say they're ICE. Look at the uniform. One of the police officers are out there on unmarked vehicles. They come out with a uniform. If they don't have a uniform, I got you. Okay, there is some benefit of doubt. My question is that guy, his son, is he legal in this country? Is his wife legal in this country? Is those 3 kids that he put through college legal in this country? If the answer is yes, what a damn shame that they didn't give him a green card already. They say he didn't have any criminal record, so all he really had to do was go to the government website of immigration and fill out his form for a green card. No work permit, a green card. And then once that application is submitted and is approved for an interview, go ahead and also fill out a form to get a work permit. But you got to make sure that your status to be in this country is legal. If you have an order of deportation, you got to go, and that is a problem, but you got to go. Scenario B, if they weren't really trying to get him and there was a mistake, I still fucking blame the blue government. I still blame Democrats. Sanctuary cities. You enable hiding criminals. You enable illegal immigrants to come to this country and disregard the law. You enable them over and over and over. So I will always blame Democrat sanctuary cities every single time. Take that to the bank.
I want to go to Ed Lavandera because he's out front in Dallas live for us tonight. So, Ed, a lot of things that we still have not gotten any direct answers about. What is the latest that you are learning about what really happened here?
Well, we've been able to obtain a series of videos over the last few days that really kind of capture those last crucial minutes before Lorenzo Salgado was shot and killed by ICE agents in Houston. So we're going to string all of that together so you can see it. But it also comes at a time where we're hearing from the first time some details about what happened that morning from those detainees who were in the van with Salgado as well.
As Lorenzo Salgado Araujo laid on the ground suffering from a gunshot wound, the 3 other men in the van with him were being taken into ICE custody by ICE agents Tuesday morning. For the first time, we're hearing their version of the events that led to the deadly shooting through an attorney who spoke with them.
I can tell you with conviction that my client's versions of the events are extremely different from what ICE agents are saying or what the agency is saying.
After the shooting, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency put out a statement saying Salgado attempted to, quote, evade arrest, weaponized his vehicle, and tried to run over an ICE agent, forcing the officer to shoot the 52-year-old construction worker in self-defense.
At no point was there ever an agent standing in front of the vehicle, nor was an agent ever placed in the line of danger. That is simply false.
If that is true, don't make excuses for the ICE agents shooting. Now, they shouldn't lie. And I don't think shooting them was the answer. That's just me. I could be wrong. If what they're saying is a lie, that he used the car as a weapon, it's not the same as the shooting from good. She really did hit the guy, and that agent has been dragged around before. So I give him the benefit of doubt. The shots were legit. She should have never sped away, especially when an ICE agent is even close to the vehicle. ICE agent could be on the side of the vehicle and the back tire spinning, could be run over his foot or something. Anything can happen. Whatever. Hearsay. If he didn't use that vehicle as a weapon, and there is proof of that, and that the ICE agents lied that the car was used as a weapon, then they should be reprimanded. They should be in trouble. I don't know, maybe jail time. I don't know. That should be punishment. Like this guy, Shorty, get the hell out of my chat, bro. Fuck you. Fuck you very much. Thank you for stopping by. I don't accept garbage on my chat. Get out of here. 30 minutes. Go take a shower. Go take a shower. All right. Yeah, well, cars are very dangerous, Jeff, but you know, I hate people lying to me. I don't like people lying to me. I whoop my kids for lying to me. It wasn't a serious thing, but they lied to me. And I have whooped them for that. All of these little lip tarts, they never got love. They never got discipline. And that's why they entitled little bitches and they don't know what to say on the chat. Except for spew their own little lies. Impeach, remove, and get the fuck off my channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now get out of here. Anywho, let me go ahead and get to the next story. I'm not going to sit here and insult all the libtards that come in here. Especially when Mr. Green is in the background. Guy gets on my nerves. I look at him and I get pissed. I don't know why. I just look at him and I get pissed. Hey, listen. I'm going to give you a couple of more negative news, but I do have something positive to say about my city of Everett. Breaking news. This happened this morning about 5:30. I think Eastern time, or no, Pacific time. 5:30 my time. Did you guys know? This is so crazy. I just realized that the next video that I'm going to show you is going to be about something similar. But did you know that there was a man in his 60s that got sucked out of a airplane window? No, he didn't really like get sucked all the way out, but he was buckled. You know what I mean? He had his seatbelt to save his life. But he was sucked out, like his head and his arm, I guess. And yeah, true story. Let's take a listen.
And of course, you can see video there of Ryanair, as there's been a developing story that's been all over social media. A terrifying situation that happened mid-air as passengers aboard a flight from northern Greece to Germany had to pull back a man who was partially sucked out of a broken airplane window. It all happened yesterday, a few minutes after takeoff on a flight operated by Malta Air, which is a subsidiary of Ryanair, which is Europe's largest budget carrier. Ryanair telling the Associated Press in a statement that, quote, a passenger window dislodged in flight and the aircraft returned to the airport in Greece afterward. The 61-year-old passenger reportedly suffered neck and shoulder injuries along with friction burns, and another passenger reported hearing screaming and seeing the man partially sucked out of that window. We do have this post right here coming in from the New York Post. It says, Ryanair passenger almost sucked out of plane cabin after window shatters on Germany-bound flight. It is something that you don't hear every day. So what I want to do is bring in Dr. Philip Mann, the principal consultant at Vector Strategic Consulting, to essentially help break down how something like this could even happen. Thank you so much, Dr. Mann, for taking the time to be here with us today.
Sure thing.
And as I mentioned, the big question, how does something like this even happen?
Yeah, so understanding that everything's preliminary now, there's going to be a lot of agencies investigating this. What it looks like right now is basically that something happened with the engine, a piece of the engine broke loose, came out of the side of the engine, and basically bounced off the window, and either the window shattered or it dislodged. Doesn't look like any other part of the plane was damaged other than the engine and that window. And fortunately, it worked out that, yeah, the gentleman, the passenger, was partially sucked out the window, but he had his seatbelt on, and the other passengers got him inside, and the plane got back on the ground safely.
And that was my next question. Obviously, you don't have a crystal ball, anything of that nature, but talking from a safety perspective, if he had not been, I guess, wearing his seatbelt, could this have been a different situation?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of physics involved, but absolutely, it could have potentially been a different thing. My understanding from the reporting I've read is that his head and shoulders were completely out the window. So, those are generally the widest parts of our body, so there probably wasn't a whole lot left to keep him in. So him wearing his seatbelt was probably the single biggest contributor to him staying in the airplane.
As all of this kind of plays out, the engine, a piece of the engine, it appears, fell off. So how does that happen? Is that something that is, I have to imagine, fairly rare?
Yeah, it is extremely rare. It's not unprecedented. There was a similar incident that happened back in 2018, I believe, with the Southwest Airlines. Same, very, very, very similar aircraft, a 737 with the same type of engine in it. And this is normally something from an engine that's got some wear and tear. And what will happen is the investigators will look to find out what the definitive cause is with their metallurgy and whatnot, and find out if that means that these engines need to be replaced or inspected more often. And then, and unique to aviation is whatever they find with this, it will propagate globally. Aviation is the only industry that requires the country that designed it, and the country that built it, and the country that owns it, and the country that operates it, and the place where it happened to all coordinate together. They, by treaty, have to all coordinate together. And then in the civil aviation structure for regulatory purposes, anything that gets put out there is mandatory. It's not if your company feels like doing it, it's you do this or you don't fly. And aviation does that very quickly. So whatever they come up with, whatever they investigate, it's going to involve all interested parties, and it's going to get to a correction that's going to be issued globally.
On that note here, and you said globally, so I have to imagine, despite the fact that this doesn't involve the U.S., we're talking about Europe, specifically the largest budget carrier there for Europe, Ryanair. Of course, Malta Air is a subsidiary there of Ryanair. But could this have an impact then, I imagine, on the U.S.? They would have to take part in changing whatever is decided upon.
Oh, absolutely. And the U.S. is required to participate in this. The NTSB is required because, while the plane was operated by by Ryanair in Europe, it was being flown in Europe, it was run with a European crew, presumably. The plane was manufactured and designed in the United States. Therefore, the U.S. has to participate. The engine manufacturer, I believe, is also in the United States, so they have to participate. And if through treaties and agreements, if something is found that's defective, it needs more inspections or whatever it is, the U.S. will have to comply with it, or will have to issue a legally binding declaration to the International Civil Aviation Authority explaining why they're doing better.
And of course, you are an aviation expert, so I want to get your take. What question or questions do you have that you hope an investigation could potentially answer?
Yeah, well, it's kind of more. I'm interested in where the division, where the problem is. I'm interested in is there a necessary change that needs to be made to the engines so that because these engines do have kind of, this oversimplifying, but they have kind of a sleeve on the inside that's supposed to keep all the pieces from falling out if the engine does shatter during flight, and it appears to be that there's evidently a gap somewhere in there. It's probably a small gap given that the fan blades came apart, and as far as I've seen so far, only this window was touched. Like nothing on the right or left or top or bottom of it, nothing else was touched. I'm interested to know, is it some maintenance issue with the window? Because it's notably not affected the structure of the airplane as far as anybody's been able to detect so far. So it's basically there's an engine issue, or there's an issue with how the window was performed, and then they want to know also, is it a design problem, or was it something that was the air carrier and a maintenance problem? So basically just figuring out what needs to be fixed so this doesn't happen again. But now this is exceedingly rare. The last most similar thing was 8 years ago, and it's or 12, yeah, a long time ago, 2018. But the last most similar thing was 2018, and if you think about the millions and millions and millions of flights that have happened in between there, that it's an excessively rare event anyway.
Yeah, and we're looking at some of the pictures that we've seen, the New York Post sharing some of those, and I want to pop this one up on your screen here. I showed it just a second ago, but as we pop it up, you can see the window itself that was broken there, again, hit by what appears to be a piece of the engine, all of this under investigation. And I wanted to ask, as far as transparency goes, once there are some answers about what happened, how it happened, whether there is a threat to any other aircraft here, how does the transparency work with essentially informing the public and letting them know? I have to imagine that all of this is public record and is going to be released to the public.
Oh, absolutely. The findings of the International Civil Aviation Authorities, the ICAO folks, that has to be public by law, and that has to be public by treaty. So anything that's found will be made public. Any actions that are required, such as corrective actions at the design stage, or the maintenance stage, or the operation stage, anything has to be done there, will be done very, very, very quickly and will be mandatory. The aviation is very unique in this way that it is as close as we have. It's not perfect, but it's very, very, very close to anything that would resemble a global authority that all plays together under harmonious rules, and that a rule in one place is a rule somewhere else, and it all is intended to work together. And it kind of just makes sense because unlike automotive or rail or anything else, a plane that's flown in Greece today could be in New York by the afternoon and could be in Japan later the next day. And so all of those places have to have a very, very quick action on any kind of safety items and any kind of things. And it has to be very clear of political barriers and stuff like that. And aviation does this very well.
Folks who work for the airline have to be trained on a variety of scenarios and situations. Is this one that is likely trained for in any way? Because again, it's not something you hear about every day.
Yeah, the air crews are trained on a loss of cabin.
What's crazy is what I'm going to show you now. That's what's crazy. What I'm going to show you right now. Something is happening here in Boeing. Boeing, it's actually, well, they're going to make some more 737s here in Everett, Washington. Notice they're not doing that in Seattle. They're doing that here in Everett, Washington. But it's just crazy funny that, you know, this is an airplane accident. And well, now we're going to get to hear from some of the Democrats, leaders that we have here for Everett, and the good things that Boeing continues to make. Hopefully, everything when it comes to safety will be with the utmost standards.
Covering Snohomish County, major news today from Boeing about the future of production of the popular 737 MAX airplanes. After years of work, the company officially opened a new production facility in Everett to produce 737 MAX jets. KOMO's Jeremy Harris reports on why the new line comes at a critical time for the company and the airline industry, and how the move will help the North Puget Sound economy.
Washington has been home to the production of the 737 MAX for years, but the problem is the company can't produce enough airplanes to keep up with demand from the airlines. They're hoping this new production line in Everett will help that. It's the world's biggest building by volume, which is fitting for today's huge announcement from Boeing.
For the first time in the history of this company, the 737 line is coming to Everett, Washington.
The company is expanding their production capabilities of the 737 MAX line here to Everett.
We have 3 priorities in BCA, and one of them is to deliver safe and quality airplanes to our customers on time. This here is a $1 billion investment to
You know what I want to hear? Safe, high quality, and comfortable planes. That's what I want to hear.
do just that.
Between this new line and the existing 737 production plant in Renton, the company eventually hopes to deliver 52 MAX jets a month. They currently have a backlog of 4,000 jets that airlines are waiting for, meaning passengers are flying on older, less efficient airplanes.
More capacity.
Boeing is currently awaiting FAA certification of the new MAX 10.
They want to get out 52 a month, and their backlog is 4,000. That's a lot of money. If you like to work a lot of overtime and you live in Everett, I suggest you take a look at jobs here that are opening up in Everett, Washington with Boeing. Good pay. I might have to go work for Boeing, and you might not get enough of the Dennis Herrera show, but very tempting, very tempting.
Which they hope to happen before the end of the year. Delta Airlines already has 100 MAX 10s on order.
We in Puget Sound can get the workforce, train and skill them, and yes, management is going to listen to the workforce when they have something to say.
The Everett facility has historically made Boeing's wide-body fleet. Bringing the MAX here will help keep skilled jobs in Everett at a time that is critical for the company and the region.
This new assembly line gives our region more opportunities to export high-quality Boeing jets across the nation and the world, and keeping those jobs here at home.
With today's ribbon cutting now over, the line officially open. They expect the first 737 MAX to roll off the production line here later this year. Reporting from Everett, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.
The MAX jets reduce fuel usage by 20% and reduce noise by 50% compared to older models.
So they will save 20% on fuel and reduce noise. Not bad. Not bad. Now, I will tell you this. Here. Hey, Robert, what's going on? After getting robbed by the excise tax, you might have to... Yeah, I might have to go to work for Boeing. That's for sure, 100%. Now, what's crazy is that I didn't realize that, but I showed you a video of of a plane accident, you know, with the piece of an engine broke and broke the window of a plane, and a senior citizen almost got sucked out of the window. Luckily, he listened to the flying attendants and was buckled up while he was sitting on his seat. Guys, this is to show you two things. One main reason to stay buckled up on a plane is for things like this that can happen. I mean, might be a 1 in a billion, but it can happen. You know, what's crazy? Excuse me. I love flying. Now, sometimes the arthritis on my tailbone acts up, and I normally fly first class. only when I can actually get a really good cheap price on first class. Other than that, I fly coach. But, I always buckle up. It's like a natural habit. As soon as I sit down, boom, I'm buckled up. I just don't think about it. I just buckle up. I just know while I'm sitting, I'm buckled up. That's it. It's automatic for me. So, number one, that's the one thing that you can look forward, right? That if there's an accident, being buckled up can prevent worse things to happen. This old man is still, he's a senior citizen, 60-something years old, I think they said it was. Is alive today probably because of the seatbelt. I mean, can you imagine if he wasn't buckled up and he gets sucked out through that window, his body's bones would have broke and he would have fit through that window. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm glad that it didn't happen. I'm glad that he's safe, with minor injuries. And then number two, we go into this news. Great news, right? Great news. They're bringing in the 737 build here to Everett, Washington, and it's going to create jobs and all this stuff. And they say they want to bust out with 52 of these planes every month. I will tell you this. I have heard stories from people that don't work for Boeing, thank goodness, that have cut corners. I heard some stuff where, people don't work. They hide from the camera so they don't get caught. Managers signing on safety sheets without actually auditing the safeties. Yeah, a door from a Boeing plane fell out while the plane was on the air. I know the guy that might be responsible for it. But he doesn't work for Boeing anymore. So, our sister Sandra said it, more chances for mistakes to happen. We don't want H-1B1 visa workers over here. We want American workers. We want people that have pride and joy building or being part of building planes. I hope that everything goes well. I'm excited for Everett that they might get that. In other news, Saturday in America with Kayleigh McEnany. This is the tourist birthright crackdown. Let's see what they have to inform us on this.
Long before the Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship, Saturday in America told you about birth tourism. And in moments, I will speak with Texas State Representative Brian Harrison, who is demanding action. He's pushing to expand Texas law to aggressively target birth tourism. And by now, you've seen this billboard, which sat along the U.S.-Mexico border. It promoted birth packages to pregnant foreign nationals starting as low as $4,000. On the sign, they directed people to visit HaveMyBabyInTexas.com, which has since been taken down.
Whoa. Of course they're going to take it down. Let me enlarge this so that you guys can read that better. Is that English and Spanish or just... I think that's just in Spanish. It says, at Missing Regional Medical Center. At Mission Regional Center, Medical Center. Paquetes de parto, birth packages in South Texas. Natural birth, $3,950. C-section, $5,525. HaveMyBabyInTexas.com. Oh, yeah. The Constitution of the United States was made for the world to come and plant all the ink babies that they can think of to build so they can turn against the United States of America, and for our enemies to make abundant citizens that hate the United States of America and destroy us from within. We have enough libtards in our side. We have enough criminals for all these illegal immigrants and foreigners to come in here and keep raping our Constitution. When is America going to say enough is enough? Have some respect for America. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Living la vida loca, says Duval.
But not before our team was able to pull screen grabs from the site. They show the nice hospital rooms offered to these women. Saturday in America exclusive. Now, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is directing state agencies to investigate the hospital for any violations of the law. In a statement to Fox, Mission Regional Medical Center says we do not support or facilitate any unlawful activity and work to comply with all applicable federal and state laws and regulations. The marketing materials regarding maternity services are no longer in use due to any unintended misunderstanding. Joining me now, Texas State Representative Brian Harris. Representative Harris.
Right. So they make the advertising in Spanish. I thought maybe that sign was in Mexico, and that's probably why they took it down. And these guys are lying. The sign was not in Texas. That sign was in Mexico. Right, guys? Liptards? Right? Am I right? That sign was for Mexico because it was written in Spanish. That can't be true, guys. That sign was not in Texas. That sign was in Mexico because it was written in Spanish. And I know proud Texans, I'm going to tell you right now, proud Texans, I don't care how Mexican they look, don't talk in Spanish to them unless they talk in Spanish to you. They get pissed if you call them Mexicans. It's a true fact.
Harrison, you have a plan. You want Texas to change the law and make birth tourism a felony. Take me through the plan you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I think every Republican state, but especially Texas, okay, these sovereign states need to stand up. We need to stop just taking it on the chin when these potentially republic-destroying, edicts come rolling down from Washington, D.C., like that abomination of a birthright citizenship ruling from the Supreme Court. We need to act, and we need to fight back, and we need to go on offense. And we need to do it now. So the state of Texas, what I'm calling for is an immediate special session. I want Governor Abbott to call us back to the Capitol right now so that we can make birth tourism a state-level felony. That is absolutely an option that's available to us under our state and federal constitutions. It's Texas. We get to decide what's legal and what's not legal to operate as businesses in our state. And then number two, something that doesn't even require a special session. We need the governor and his political appointee at HHS in Texas to immediately stop issuing birth certificates to illegal aliens and non-citizens. Because as far as I'm concerned, after that ruling on birthright citizenship, the fact that the state of Texas is still giving out birth certificates, not just giving them out, by the way, advertising them on our Texas government taxpayer-funded website, advertising the types of foreign documents that we will accept to get a birth certificate if you can just get here for long enough to have your baby born here and then leave to wherever country you came from. That is not only not fighting birth tourism, that is actually incentivizing birth tourism, and that is a betrayal of the 30 million Texans who call this state home. They need more than just rhetoric and then talk out of their elected leaders here in Texas. They deserve action.
Attorney General Paxton has been trying to take action with the laws currently on the books, and I know that he's going after this one birth tourism facility that was in a residential house, looks like any normal house, but inside, you can see this here, were rows of bassinets of Chinese women giving birth to new U.S. citizens, sometimes going back to the CCP. It seems to me pretty common sense what you're proposing in the legislature. Are any of your colleagues on board? Do you think this will actually pass, making birth tourism a felony?
Well, I've only recently called for this in the past couple of days, but absolutely we are picking up momentum and support as every day that goes by. Representative David Lowen here in Texas has supported it, as well as U.S. Congressman Chip Roy. Congressman Keith Self just yesterday endorsed this plan. As far as I'm concerned, every elected Republican should be demanding an immediate special session to make it a felony to engage in birth tourism in Texas, and should be joining my call for the governor to order his appointees to stop giving birth certificates to illegals. This should not be controversial, so I would renew my request, not only for the governor to call us back to get these common sense solutions done, but also every elected Republican in Texas needs to join the call. It is incumbent upon this state to assert their sovereignty when edicts like this come down from Washington, D.C. So yeah, we're picking up momentum, and I would hope that we get this done because 30 million Texans deserve action not just rhetoric.
Well, and I'm sure your constituents are very thankful. You're saying, get back to work and let's make a difference. Rep. Brian Harrison, thank you so much.
Be sure to like.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, but it's true. It should be a concern. I know illegal immigrants, they want us to, they want to call me a traitor or whatever they want. Fuck you. My loyalty belongs to the United States of America. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. I don't give a shit about your opinion. Just because you're fucking Hispanic doesn't make you my family, you fucking moron. If you don't protect the United States of America, I don't give a shit about what you stand for. You understand that? My oath was given to the American people. I really, really thought about it before I became an American citizen. I waited as a green card holder, as a resident alien, 2.5 decades to make sure that if I make the oath to become an American citizen, that I am going to hold my oath and my word as a man, that I will abide by all the laws and that I will be under complete 100% jurisdiction of the United States of America. With that being said, Cutting Edge, welcome back, brother. Good to see my brother in here from the East Coast. You've seen how the entire DSA webpage states that their goal is communism. Man, we've been saying this forever. You know what I'm saying? We've been telling them. They don't want to listen to us. I've said it before, he says. What I like is that they stated their objective is communism. At least they said that. At least they said that. Trump will act based on the premise of that objective they are pursuing. Communist Control Act. 1954. Bring it on, baby. All right. With that being said, let me go ahead and read the latest tweet from the POTUS. Not really the latest, but, kind of the latest tweet from the POTUS. Let me go ahead and read it to you. Here we go. Excuse me. It is incredible. I won the election in a landslide against the entire Democrat Party. Democrat Party, and almost 100% negative news. I won 86% of the counties in America, 2,750 to 525. Won the electoral college vote. 312 to 226, was the first Republican in decades to win the popular vote and decisively won all 7 swing states. All 50 states shifted toward the Republican Party for the first time ever. And I had to run against not one candidate, but 2, Sleepy Joe and Kamala Drunk Harris, which has never happened before, against almost 100% negative press and fake news, all of them willing to do anything that I lose. And yet, especially Maggot Hagerman, one of the most unattractive people in the news business, and her lightweight assistants, most unattractive people in the news business. Sorry, I just read that again. Oh, man. Jonathan Swan and the failing New York Times itself, which spends all of his energy on negative stories about me. All I do is win, often against all odds. But after the big election success, there is no, he won. He did a great job. There's nothing saying, maybe we were wrong about him. The people were right. Or maybe, congratulations. We wish you great success for our country. No. But after I won the election for the 3rd time, the same people start immediately all over again. The failing New York Times, they lost its way. Wall Street Journal. MSNBC, they changed their name to MSN Now because nobody was watching. Ignorant CNN, with some of the worst no-name anchors in history. And all 3 fake networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, all of their readership, ratings, and viewerships are tanking. Because the public understands they are, as I have said right from the beginning, fake news. They have no credibility, or would have been impossible for me to win with only bad stories, especially in a historic landslide. Think of it. This was my opposition. If the election was held again today, I would win by even more. Actually, much more. The Democrats don't have what it takes. Their policies are wrong, and they are generally stupid people. They are going communist because they are desperately sinking ship. And there is not a thing they can do about it. Instead of writing inaccurate false articles for over 10 years now, shouldn't it be time that they say, we give up. We can't beat him. There seems nothing we can do. Isn't it time they say, Trump is the best political athlete of all time? Congratulations, Mr. President. You have beaten us for 10 years, and we are not going to waste our time fighting you any longer. We can't win. Do a great job, sir, running our country. Make America great again. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, what I miss? I don't know. I missed something on the chat. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Let's see what else we have here on the X account. The good old X account that I almost never check. Let's see. Palm Beach, blah, blah, blah. Wow, Palm Beach has always been a special place to me. So beautiful. President Donald J. Trump, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that. Don't care about that. Why don't we listen from the Secretary Linda McMahon? I already read the tweet, but why don't you hear it from her own lips?
Except that these...
Here we go.
Taking action against teachers that have sexual misconduct charges against them. One stat that just astounded me was that 1 out of 10 school students across the country have some sort of sexual misconduct against them, perpetrated on them by teachers or by school staffs. And what happens? No action is taken except that these teachers, through support of unions, are moved to other schools, or maybe they get counseling, but they're not removed from their positions. And so, you know, these schools are going to, we're launching OCR investigations, and, you know, schools are going to be in jeopardy of losing their federal funding if they don't take actions against teachers who do this kind of thing. Now, by and large, I think we have such wonderful teachers all across the country. I want to support those teachers. We want to reduce regulations by, you know, returning more education to the states, taking action against teachers that have sexual...
What is that, Max? You want America to reproduce? What do you want to do? You want to pimp out America? All right, don't worry, man. I'll open up the lines. Look at that. You become a member so you can get noticed. All right, I appreciate that. I see you. All right, I'll open up the lines. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. In other news, I want to share a little piece of video about a soccer player. I really, really like this guy. I'm sure you guys like him as well. His name is Erling. One of my cousins' name is Erling. Erling Haaland. This guy is phenomenal. Don't worry, Max. I'll let you call in. This guy is phenomenal. I have really become a fan, to be honest. I have become a fan of Erling Haaland. Yeah, we do need to reproduce. I know, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. We do need to reproduce. Absolutely. But before we continue that, let me go ahead and play this video from him. He is one of the Vikings from Norway.
Incredible. Unbelievable. 2-1. Win. Brazil next in New York. No, I won just the cowboy hat. That's all I won. What I'm here for. Wild Bill's Western.
Perfect. It's perfect. It suits him. He's a cowboy. Yeah!
He wanted to get a cowboy hat just like me, guys. See? Even Norwegians know what's up.
Oh, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
Oh, I need a good hat.
You need a hat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? It just so happens you've come to the right spot here in Dallas. This is Miguel. He's going to be taking care of you today.
Nice to meet you.
All right, let's do this.
Come get me, get you to take your hat off.
Yeah, come on. I've got a big head.
Right here.
Yeah. So how should the hat be?
So the hat, we want to make sure it's tight that the wind doesn't blow off your head. This
Yeah.
one's too big, so
Yeah,
we're going to go down
too
a size. So you want to do like that and your hat stays on your head.
So do you like the country style, Ellen? Unbelievable.
So I have to open up the sides a little bit so the steam relaxes the wool so that I can manipulate it and get it to the right shape.
What a shot. Look at them shoes as well, what was saying?
So once you decide the color you want, if you like the brown, we'll go ahead and get it branded.
Yeah, EH9. Holland.
Yes. And then your
Come on! No way! No way! You need to introduce yourself. Who are you?
We are the Kidmen for Erling. Kidmen for Erling. My name is Siggy, proud Kidman. And my name is Eric, proud Kid. I'm taking care of Erling. Yeah. And you think?
Salvesen.
Salve. Yeah.
Just so you know, come on, get that on. And what have we just witnessed on the football pitch?
We witness. Whitney Houston's history in Norway. History, yeah. He didn't score. He didn't score. He was hit by the ball. We have to be honest. One more tap in.
Yes, I need a few different ones. This is, you know, I need dark. I need.
So what about the Bailey right behind him in the lighter color?
Yeah, I need a few different ones for summer as well, you know. How does it feel on your head? I look like a proper cowboy. What are we saying about the boots? I mean, what are you saying? Got any Nike ones? Need with snake skin or something. Have you got snake skin there? Snake or cobra skin? Go on, let's have a look. Check yourself out there. No, you know what I'm looking forward to? Walking out on the street and doing this. It's a nice greeting, isn't it? Take your hat off. Yeah. You know, can you show me how you do it?
You take it off like this. From the crown. Yes.
Alright, come on, snakeskin for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Ay. How nice is that? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. This is good. Ay. Perfect. It's perfect. It suits him. He's a cowboy. He's a cowboy. That's what it is. He's not a goal scorer. He's a cowboy. He's more of a cowboy than a goal scorer, actually.
Looks good, no?
You can see this right here real quick. So this is the black one. Yeah, I gotta really open that one up. And then I picked out a nice
Stetson one.
A nice gray Stetson for you.
Miguel, that's a Stetson. Yeah, Miguel is my guy.
So now you have all the colors, summer and the winter hats.
Yeah.
But this one I'm gonna have to open up for you.
Look at the ostrich shoes.
Yeah.
What I was saying, y'all.
Are you gonna walk around town?
What I was saying, y'all. Sick. Look how nice it is. I'm going to wear this in the summer. Yeah, absolutely. Travel tomorrow in this.
Yeah, always set your hat crown down like this.
Okay.
There's two reasons for that. It's a beautiful curve, so if you keep putting it like that, it's going to go flat. But the superstition says you keep your luck in your hat. So if I put my hat this way, my luck will go.
I'll turn it around and keep the luck coming.
Yeah, and that's it. So we got you your 4 hats, we got you 3 winter hats, and 1 summer.
Have you got any snakeskin hats?
No.
I'm sorry. There it is.
I love this kid, man. I mean, he's, what I like about him, he seems to be very humble. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very. I mean, he's rich, obviously, but he's very humble, and he's very athletic. He takes care of his body. I actually watch some of his videos. I can't watch all of them, obviously, but I do watch some of his videos. He loves to cook, especially steak. And it's just fantastic. I mean, I don't know how much I can show you of the highlights, but let me see if I can. Oh my goodness, 12-0. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. No, I cannot show you this. This is embarrassing. All right. This is probably going to be the most embarrassing time of my life.
Pero
unbelievable. Probably the most embarrassing time of my life. You guys know who the people in white is? Do you know who they are? Somebody put it in the chat. Who are the people in the white uniform? I'll give you a hint. Who is the team in white? So embarrassing. So embarrassing. If you're not watching this live, most likely you are not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. Mental hospital workers. I wish that was true. Holland, oh my God, is going to play against Honduras. And he scores 12-0.
no pudo ni siquiera hacer un gol. Como se para el conjunto noruego con Lund en el conjunto hondureño. Pero gol de Noruega. Gran jugada de primera, un toque, no había posición adelantada y al final termina definiéndolo Erling Haaland. Noruega le está ganando a Honduras 1-0 y no hay posición adelantada.
No, la pelota está adelante, el hombre está atrás, espera muy bien y se veía venir. Ha salido con mucho más
intención del equipo de Tábora. Qué riesgo ahí por parte de Edison Rivas, perdió la pelota, atención, cuidado que se viene Haaland, que le pega Haaland, ¡gol! ¡Gol! ¡Gol de Noruega! Otra vez el número 19, el delantero Erling Haaland, recuperó la pelota sin falta y termina definiendo desde el borde del área 2-0.
Ahí se equivoca. Lo va a anular.
Bueno, ha invalidado el gol. Entonces el gol de Haaland. De todas maneras, Noruega muy superior a la selección hondureña.
No los veo con la actitud de luchar.
Sale el cabezal, está en el área Rosales, viene el taco, Chávez. Justo, la barrida perfecta, sin falta de Evgen.
I know. They're very superior to Honduran players, is what he said. Oh, my gosh, dude. You know what? It is. You're right. You know, soccer, it's copyrighted. This is FM 247 HD. Showing the highlights. I think it might be okay. Let me see. Oh, my God, dude. 12-0. How about this? We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. I don't know if it's still going to be okay, but how's that? We'll put the action right in the middle. See how that works. I'm going to tell you something while I show you this, okay? Now, this is just for you guys who are here live. Penalty. Just for those of you who are here live. Look how much younger he is right there. That's probably like 3 or 4 years ago, guys. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell you something about myself. Now, you probably won't believe it, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm only 6'1". I'm only 6'1", but I'm going to tell you, man, I was ripped. I had big players. It's so funny because Mexican players will try to come in and knock me down. I'm not Holland. I'm no Erling Haaland, but I can tell you, I never took a dive. I always took the hits and continued to play, even when it hurt. And I always dominated on soccer, period. It was a talent given by God, they say. This one's, they say, the gods have given Erling the talent to play soccer. Ouch. Oh, my goodness. 3-0. 3-0. Now I'm going to make it go faster. Let's see if that helps. We're gonna we'll make it go faster. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go. 12 goals, guys. 12 goals. Here we go. The goalkeeper commits a foul, I think. Yeah, he does. Yep, that's a foul. Boom! 4-0. 4-0. Ah, man. Ouch. Ay, Honduras. Honduras. What can I say, man? You know, Honduras is really not bad of a... never mind. Forget it. They're horrible. Ah, man. I'll tell you what. When I was younger, you know, I played goalkeeper most of the time. I was only a striker. I was only a forward when the team needed to score goals. That should tell you how good I was, okay? But I didn't like that technique because then the other goalkeeper, if they scored on him, then what's the point of me being the best goalkeeper on the field? You know what I'm saying? So I always got pissed off about that. But yeah, I was a very good striker. I used to coach soccer goalkeepers and strikers on how to hit the ball. I don't know. I mean, I played soccer since I was 5 years old, you know. And I'm going to tell you, you're not asking, but I've given people these numbers before. Listen, when I was in high school, I was squatting. Now, I was only like 185 pounds. That's, you know, 6'1", 185 pounds. No, I lie. 175, I think. 175 pounds. Listen, I was squatting 535 pounds. No joke. I have very strong legs. And then I had a 36-inch vertical. That's 3 feet straight up in the air. I run a 4.3 40-yard dash. Just so you know, that is fucking quick. And you know what? I ran a mile in under 5 minutes. And I was very athletic. And I wish I would have had somebody that cared, you know, that cared about me when I was at my most athletic time. But I thought about going to Honduras and playing goalkeeper for Honduras because I was only a resident here. I was still a citizen of Honduras. So I would have been eligible to play with the national team, being that I would beat their goalkeepers, right? And I never pulled the trigger. I always felt, you know what, I'm not good enough, and the goalkeepers in Honduras, they're better than me, and coaches told me I was better than the goalkeepers that they have, but I always thought that somebody else was better than me, so never pulled the trigger. I find that very interesting, actually, in my life. I don't know why I am like that. But let me see. I think that's it. That's it. That is the Saturday rundown. This should be fun. All right. I got to take a break, but I will leave you guys with some numbers. I know. You don't want to hear from CNN, but I will leave you with CNN. Here's some numbers. This should make all of the libtards very happy that the Dennis Herrera show actually played some CNN video for them. This is for all my leftist people. Here we go, buddy. Show you love.
At the end of the day, have to respond to the people in their country. And right now, Vladimir Putin is feeling the heat because it's always about the economy, right? And what you're seeing here is, take a look. Okay, Russians who say their economy is getting worse or getting better. You look back 2 years ago, look, the majority of Russians said their economy was getting better. That number has collapsed. Now we're just talking about 27%. Compare that to the percentage of Russians who say that their economy is getting worse. That was just a third 2 years ago. That is up significantly like a rocket to 60% now, nearly doubling in just the past 2 years. This war and, of course, all of the sanctions that go with it have had a tremendous impact on Russia's economy, and you can see it here. The people inside of Russia are not liking the way that the economy is going, and for the first time that we've really seen in recent memory, the pessimism is sky high.
This is a terrible number for any leader. Correct. Anywhere. That is an awful number. People clearly dissatisfied. I do want to ask you about what's happening inside of Ukraine, and knowing that President Trump is going to meet with NATO allies. He is on the way to Turkey to do that. How much sway does he have with the Ukrainian public?
Yeah, okay, so it takes two to tango, or three in this case, the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine. And you can see the domestic picture here in Russia is not particularly good. Of course, what Trump is hoping is that, he can, put his finger on Volodymyr Zelensky and, pressure him. But there, the domestic picture is very different, because take a look here. Look at this number. Look at this number. Net approval of U.S. leadership among Ukrainians. Yeah, Sarah is whistling, because this has been a dramatic, a huge shift. When Joe Biden was president back in 2024, U.S. leadership was on the positive side of the ledger at plus 3 points. Look at how this number has absolutely fallen through the floor to now negative 72 points. That is a 75-point switcheroo in the wrong direction. So, look, Trump is going to try and pressure Zelensky to make a deal in the same way he'll try and pressure Putin to make a deal. But Zelensky be like, hey, I'm not going to feel any pressure from my folks if Trump is putting pressure on me, because my folks just don't trust U.S. leadership.
Right, and there's a reason for that. Some of the comments that Trump has made, some of the niceties with Russia, and yelling at the president while they're in war has been a real problem for the Ukrainian people. I do want to ask you about, this war has been going on now for more than 4 years. And a lot of people thought, even U.S. intelligence thought, that it was going to be Russia taking over within days. The Ukrainians have managed to fight and fight and fight in a way that no one thought was possible, including Russia. So how do Americans feel about the war itself?
They do have no confidence in Donald Trump to handle this war. Take a look here. U.S. trust on Trump on the Russia-Ukraine war. Look at this number. Overall, it's fallen from 45% back when Trump was on the campaign trail to just 32% now. And look among Republicans. It was 81% 2 years ago. It is now just 60% now. Trump comes in to any negotiations in a weakened state. given the domestic feelings in Russia and Ukraine and the domestic feelings here in the United States as well. We're about halfway through the primary season so far, and this is perhaps the best sign for Democrats, because when people are going out there to vote, they're voting Democratic to a historic degree. Take a look here. Dems share of the primary votes cast. You know, right now we're talking about 57%. My goodness gracious. That is up 10 points from 2022 when Democrats were casting just 47% of the primary ballots. Republicans were casting the majority. And this 57% is actually higher than what Democrats were casting back in 2018 when, of course, they went back to take back the House of Representatives when it's 54%. This is a historically strong position for Democrats. The energy is on the Democratic side of the aisle.
This was a big year for Democrats.
Huge year for Democrats.
And the percentage this year even higher.
Yeah.
Okay, I call this next graph at the Etten special here. What happens when one party is turning up in bigger numbers than the other in the midterms?
You know, there are two Etten specials. One is Popeyes followed by Carvel. The other is this slide. And take a look here. Okay, national primary turnout edge by party. Then went on to win the U.S. House in the midterm. Look at this. Every single cycle since 2006, Dems had the primary edge, they took back the House. 2010, GOP had the primary edge, they took back the House. 2014, GOP had the primary edge, they held on to the House. 2018, Dems had the primary edge in terms of votes cast, they went back to take back the House. And in 2022, the GOP had the edge in primary votes cast, and they went back to take back the House. When your side comes out and votes more in the primary, it forecasts very good fortunes come the fall in midterm elections. When more of you turn out, you take back the House or hold on to the House.
All right, and we're seeing some sort of signs of the impact this is already having in some of the key states we're looking at.
You know, if Democrats want to take back the United States Senate, they're going to have to win in states that Donald Trump won in 2024. But they may get a key boost in turnout. So in the 6 key GOP-held Senate seats, we spoke about them last week, Alaska, Iowa, Maine, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Trump's 2024 margin, on average in those states, he won it by 8. But according to the Times, in terms of likely general election voters, his edge is actually only going to be half that. 4 points. So this energy, this turnout energy that we're seeing in the primary will likely, at least is forecasted to, in fact, hold towards the fall and make those red states a little bit more pink than red.
They're starting, Democrats are further along of the race than they were before in terms of turnout there. All right, Harry, in terms of the House of Representatives, what are the prediction markets saying at this point?
Yeah, so Democrats took a little bit of a hit after those SCOTUS decisions right back in May. Their low point was 73% on May 17th, but look at where we are now. Democrats' chances have risen significantly, up much closer, if not past 80% at this point. So what we're seeing is that enthusiasm that the Democrats have look like it's going to hold towards the fall as well. I would argue the Democratic version of it is a new Tea Party, but it's on steroids. Why do I say that? Well, let's just start off with the fact, approve of their own party in Congress. Republicans in July of 2010, it was 52%, a very low percentage, but at least it was north of 50%. Look at where we are now with Democrats in terms of them approving their own members of Congress. It's actually below 50%. Democrats dislike their party more than Republicans did during the Tea Party wave of 2010. Just 47% of Democrats now approve of their own party in Congress. As I said, it's a new Tea Party, but it's a Tea Party on steroids.
And we're seeing the impact it's having on some Democratic incumbents.
Absolutely the case. You know, if you look at the number of Democratic incumbents, House incumbents who have gone down to defeat, it's actually higher in the House than it was back in 2010. House incumbents who lost primaries for Republicans back in 2010, it was 1, 2. You can count it on one hand. But in 2026 so far, it's already 5. It's already 5. You have to use up all the digits on your one hand. It's 5 so far, even if you include Lisa Murkowski going down to defeat in the 2010 Senate primary. Of course, she then went on to win as a write-in candidate in the fall. And you include the Senate, that only gets you to 3. Still, we're dealing with more defeats right now in Congress for Democrats, those Democratic incumbents, than you even saw during the Tea Party wave for Republicans back in 2010.
And the prediction markets think it might get even worse.
It could get even worse. In fact, it's likely to get even worse. So if you look at the Kalshi prediction market and the chance that 6 House Democrats go down to defeat, lose their primary in 2026, this number has consistently, over the last week or so, been hovering 80, 90%. And when we talk about history books, the history books, right? If in fact 6 House Democrats went down to defeat in 2026, it would be by far, it would be the largest number be the largest number in a post-redistricting cycle for Democrats. And get this, over 50 years. That's why I got this picture of the Tea Party on your screen right now, because you know what? It's 250, but also it's a new Tea Party for Democrats.
I was just in Boston. I saw where this all took place. All right, when we're talking about some of the specific races where incumbents might be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of races where they might be in trouble. How about Missouri 1, right? There's a possibility. How about in Michigan 13? That's a real possibility in terms of a House Democrat going down to defeat. And then in Connecticut 1 as well, another real possibility. And this is just what we've been seeing over and over and over again. We have been seeing that these incumbents have been going down to defeat, and it looks like there are going to be plenty more, at least if you listen to the Kalshi prediction markets, where people put their money where their mouths are.
You know, you guys know I love listening to that guy. I love to hear about numbers. I love to hear about numbers. Remember when Trump was running for president the first time? Everybody? Anybody remember? I dare you to run. I dare you to run. Unbelievable, man. All the polls said that Kamala was going to win. All the polls said Biden was going to win. All the polls said Trump was going to lose. He will never be president. All the numbers came against him. And all Americans showed up. 80 million. And myself voted for President Trump. Now we have a bunch of illegal immigrants disguising as American citizens. Here's a theory that I'm going with here. This is just a theory. It's just an idea, just a thought. You guys remember the movies, the science fiction movies? You guys watch Men in Black? Men in Black? Remember when that cockroach alien came to Earth and he took the skin of the old farmer? His wife said, aliens took my husband's body, something like that. Imagine millions of illegal immigrants just going through all these numbers at the morgue. Taking all of the information from dead people. The Social Security is in the system. I'm just saying, it's just my theory. It's just a dentist theory. It can happen. If I was an illegal immigrant, what I would do, that would have never happened. But, the Edgar suit, yes. But, hear me out. If I was going to cheat, the best way for me to commit fraud, it will probably try to find somebody that has passed away around my age. I would run that Social Security and see what comes up. Good credit, bad credit, bada bing, bada boom, etc. You commit fraud, identity fraud, and you get all this information. If the Social Security number doesn't bring back a negative hit, well, that's what I'm working with. You know what I mean? And my name will be whatever name that is on that Social Security. Even if my name is Off Jack Me, it is what it is. Off Jack Me. I will go with that name. Social Security number. Get some credit cards. American citizen. Go and vote. Yeah. You see, they don't need your fingerprints for a license. You can get a license. You can show a birth certificate. And you can take that person's name, identity, and everything that goes with it. It's easy to be a criminal. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. One of the things that I used to hear, amongst people was illegals, of course, was that they had a list. They had a list of Social Security numbers. They haven't been used. They haven't been used. And because no negative hits will come about, right? They would use those Social Security numbers until this day. They probably haven't been caught. And they probably have a whole history with a Social Security number. Now, I will tell you this. Before, right, when we came here and, we were, we were granted permission to stay in this country. Once they approved us for the green card, they allowed us to stay here. And we got a Social Security number card. The Social Security number card had a little stamp on it. It says not for work. No, not authorized for work, I think is what it said. When I became a green card holder, they gave me a new card. Man, I was so excited. Permanent resident card. I can go to Honduras anytime and come back anytime. Well, there's a limit of how long I can be outside. Remember, permanent resident. That means that I'm a permanent domicile. That means that I live here, not in Honduras. And so I believe that they allow you to stay out there, out of the country, up to a year, I think. Maybe 1 year. I can't remember no more. But up to a year, you can stay out of the country. And you have to come back. Otherwise, you lose your green card. Did you know that? Yeah. The privilege is not permanent. There's rules that you got to follow. I can't support terrorists. I can't be an activist. I can't, go against the government. Like, I literally have to take it. You know what I mean? Whether it was right or wrong, it don't matter. I literally have to take it. Because if I have any trouble with the law, I'm going to lose my green card. Funny, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. But when I became a citizen, man, I mean, I'm telling you right now, bro, they already stamped my license off. So they stamp your license, right? They put a little hole on it. And then you get a temporary paper that says enhanced driver license. Number WDL, fuck you very much. And it is fantastic. It's good to know. This right here. America, this right here. You should be proud to go and get this right here. Regular license, federal limits apply. Citizenship, license, enhance, or real ID, little pinkish, little gayish color. But it says you are a citizen. It's fantastic. Now, I was happy about this. You guys know how I am with immigration. She says, in order for you to get an enhanced ID, well, you got to show your passport. I brought my passport. I have my license. And she says, do you have anything that verifies your address? I said, yeah, my license. She says, I need a second piece of ID that tells me, or information that tells me that this is your address. So I go and I go, in my mind, right? Let me test this guys. So I gave him my Honduras ID. She said, I'm sorry. We don't take foreign identification. Doesn't show the address. And I said, I like that. She said, do you have a concealed permit? I said, yes, I do. Concealed permit to hide my gun under my waist. Has my street address. Oh, shit, expires in December. Gotta go get a new one. I'm glad I'm showing you. I'm glad I'm showing you. I would have forgotten about it. But we are an open carry state, so I don't really need the concealed weapon permit. But because I do carry it in my car, and, I have to, if a police officer pulls me over, I want to make sure that, I comply with the law. But I am so proud that I have made how can I say this? I lead by example. I am a migrant who is now, of course, an American citizen. And I know that we have been invaded by millions of illegal immigrants. So I recognize, as an American citizen, to secure our elections, it's no longer, I'm a citizen. Believe me, I'm a citizen. No. Now you have to give me proof that you are an American citizen. And I'm going to tell you something. You should be proud, man. You remember when you went to get your first official ID? Remember that? When you were 16 years old? Got your first ID, maybe 15? And you took the driver lessons, driving school? You remember how good it felt to have a legitimate ID? Remember, the ID was vertical, right? If you're a minor, the ID is vertical. When you're an adult, it's landscape, right? I remember how happy I was to get my ID. So happy. And, I was so proud. I didn't go to driver school. I couldn't afford the classes. But as soon as I turned 18, I studied for the test. I have bought, by the way, somebody insulted me earlier, and I forgot to say something about it. I don't remember what the insult was, but it has something to do with, like, I don't know what working is like. Well, let me tell you something. Not because I'm this, workaholic, but because life presented me with reality. That if I didn't work, I'd be homeless. And I did never want to be homeless. I tell you that right now. I had my first kid. My firstborn son was born when I was 19 years old. I got a two-bedroom apartment. Two-bedroom apartment for me and my son. Man, I remember the first day I went with his mom to the doctors. I remember I went to the doctors with her, and I'm sitting there listening to the doctor speak, and she says, "You guys want to hear the heartbeat?" And we both say, "Yeah." The doctor goes in, and she goes, "Okay, that's her heartbeat. This is your son's heartbeat." And I heard it for the first time. I was so happy. I was so proud. Joy overcame me. Hot tears rolling down my cheeks. So happy, so blessed at that moment, even though I wasn't married. So blessed at that moment to hear my son's heartbeat. And you know, I'm not going to say that all black people are that way, but she was black, the mom. Ghetto black. I wasn't wise when I was young. I was learning life the hard way. But I loved her. I did. As a matter of fact, I got a 2-bedroom apartment. I said, let's get married. We got to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Well, she didn't want to get married. And I don't want to talk about the best stuff on her side. Let me just say this. I took care of my son from day one. I changed his first diaper. I gave him his first feeding, his first bath. I cut the umbilical cord. I slept with him every single day. One job, full time. I needed to make more money so that she would want to live with us and marry me, and we can, you know, raise a good family. So I asked my boss if I can work extra hours. And we were so busy. I used to work for Alpine Windows in Bothell, Washington. I had this, I think it was some sort of a 70s Chevrolet that used to burn more oil than gas. But I had a car. And I used to do double shifts. No joke, 16 hours working. And I would go home very tired, man. But I remember what I told you. I was ripped. I was athletic. I was fit. You know what I'm saying? Young body. And I would still sleep with my son. Now, I did pay attention to his mom. I was not like that. My mom has always taught me to be a good man. Always paid attention to her, so that there was no lacking anywhere. But I did spend most of my day working. And I would sleep with him, and he would wake up. Bro, when you work 16 hours, those next 8 hours, they just run down very fast. Let me just tell you. But he will wake up in the middle of the night and she wouldn't get up. I would just get up and my eyes still closed, you know, go into the kitchen and I put the water on a cup, you know, to warm up the milk, and then I grab the milk and I will make the it started being 8 ounces later, but I started with 4 ounces. And then I will go and shake the bottle. I kid you not. And I'll shake the bottle, right? Because this is the way my mom taught me. And because the you don't want to put the bottle with the milk in the microwave because of the plastics, right? I don't know what else it's called, but it's the plastic. You don't want that with the, you know, for the milk. So I used to put it in the cup and then I put it in the bottle. And then, you know, it'd be hot. I can feel it. And so I would try to cool it down with cold water. Sometimes I put my hand in the freezer like this, just so that the milk wouldn't be so hot. And then right before I gave it to my son, my mother told me that this part of your hand is very sensitive to heat, right? That's what she said, guys. And so I would taste it for some reason. But, yep, it wasn't too hot. It wasn't cold. I think I licked it just so I can wipe my hand off. Microplastics. Thank you, Fox. And then I will feed my son. Change his diaper, feed him. When I get up, you know, go make my breakfast. Bro, his mom was so lazy. Okay, you know, I'm not going to talk bad about her. Anyway, you know, I was just a young man, a fool in love. Like my invisible bottle, I just noticed that. This bottle doesn't really exist. Invisible paint. It is a miracle. But you know what? For those people that say that I just don't work, I never worked a day of my life, what the hell are they smoking? Man, I had to go and get a third job. If the mom would have, worked a part-time, fantastic. I would have one day off and then working double shifts. So 2 jobs, double shifts. His whole first year, I did this. And then she took him away from me. And it broke my heart. And I will cry at night a lot. I still work my double shifts. And I would just work, just cry at night because I couldn't pick him up. I couldn't pick him up every day. She took my son. And I bought everything for him. Everything. Nothing was welfare. Not for me. Nothing was welfare. I worked for everything that little boy got on. From the first diaper to the milk. I made his crib. I bought his first toddler bed. I bought all his clothes. His mom didn't buy him shit. I bought everything. I paid for everything. I cried when he got his shots at the clinic. You guys know I'm an open book and I share a lot about my private life. Maybe I shouldn't. But the thing about it, no, she was on welfare. But the thing about it is, today and age, that boy loves me so much. Well, he's a grown man now, but, to me, he's always going to be a boy, I guess. He loves me very much, and I appreciate him. I try to give him his best advice that I could, as my mother did for me. But at the end, my kids, they're going to choose the path that they're going to choose, and it's up to them of what they want to do in life. But it's my job as a father is to teach them, to warn them, to give them advice. And it's up to them to walk their path. They got to find their own purpose. They got to live their own life. Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't think I was going to tell you guys all that. But anywho, for those of you on the left side that think that I never held a job, let me tell you that I had 3, sometimes 4 jobs at one time to make sure that I make ends meet. So, you want to judge me, but it is what it is. Thank you, James. I understand that. No, I'm not. There's better fathers out there. You know when I'm going to be a good father? When I leave a legacy for my kids. When I leave a business so that my kids can carry on from there, my father, he died when I was 4 years old, but my father made a lot of money. My father made a lot of money, and because of the old ways back in the days, in the 70s, he didn't share bank information with my mother, and the bank manager stole all of my father's money when my mother told him that he had passed. It's crazy. But, it is what it is. The latest announcement that I have is that we are lock and loaded. President Trump, well, he's not playing around anymore. He is alert and ready to go. Now, I will say this. Iran, and I know a lot of people on the left and everybody else that hates Trump, the one thing they're going to say is like, oh, well, he deserves it. He deserves to be the number 1 on the hit list for the Iranian regime. Not the Iranians, the Iranian regime and all their supporters. All these terrorist Muslims that people continue to deny. Jason, where have you been, brother? I missed you, man. Good to see that you're saying here hello. With that being said, if anybody threatens our POTUS, they threaten the United States of America. And we should take that threat seriously. Now, with that being said, we need to be on the alert. And we can't allow for our enemies to try to divide us. I told you this yesterday or Friday. I yelled at Fox, and somebody was saying that I was dividing this country. No, I'm trying to strengthen this country with the truth. I could be wrong sometimes. And I appreciate it when you guys correct me, even if I had to cuss you out for a little bit. I love you all. I really do. I wish every single American the best. I wish every green card holder the best. I wish every visitor in this country the best. Remember this, if anything. If you don't want to run from ICE, if you don't want the federal government after you, don't stay in this country illegally. Don't be a criminal. If you haven't been caught, there's still a chance for you. Make a change. Like Michael Jackson said, take a look at the man in the mirror. You got to make that change. I believe that every single one of you guys can do it. Guys, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this extra day of podcast on Saturday. I know I have. I love you all. Thank you for being here. All my members, my man, Raj Babe, Jason, thank you for showing up in here. Appreciate you. Robert, Max, I know you just become a member so that I can see you, but thank you for doing that. Robert, love you, big bro. I'll see you all on the next one. You all be blessed.